In Oakland today, the Raiders quarterback Billy Joe Hobert in his first NFL start will be tested by Pittsburgh's Greg Lloyd and the NFL's #1 defense. The Steelers shoot for 7 wins in a row. Kickoff coming up first to New York. A renewal of one of the great rivalries in the National Football League, the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Oakland Raiders before 54,000 at the Oakland Alameda Coliseum. Hello, everyone, and welcome aboard with Paul McGuire and Phil Simms. The Steelers have won the AFC Central. They go for 7 in a row and perhaps more home field in the playoffs. And for the Raiders, 3 straight losses. They still have a 1-game edge for the wild card, but they've gone to their 3rd-string quarterback.
That's right. You had 3 losses in a row. What do? You bring in your 3rd-string quarterback. Hope he can turn things around for you. Billy Joe Hobert last week comes in. He's just excited to be in the game, to be part of the football team and throwing passes. Everything is great. This week, he has a chance to think. He starts watching film. He looks at the Steelers and go, wow, this team is good. All of a sudden, he realizes, I can make some mistakes out there today. So I think how he handles his emotions will be a key to the game.
And he's a very intense, emotional guy, and he's playing today against the #1 defense in the NFL.
Yeah, probably the #1 outside linebacker crew in the National Football League with Kevin Green and Greg Lloyd. Now, the thing about Billy Joe, though, what he must do with these 2 guys on the outside, on either side, he must stay within the game plan. If he doesn't, if he tries to freelance and do some things, these 2 guys will run him down and make his day a long day.
We saw the Raiders last week against Kansas City. It got ugly and indicated perhaps there's a problem with some characters on this team.
Well, I think a lot of people are looking at it and say this is the Raider team of old. Mike White came in here with a new staff and was going to try to change his team, not make those silly, stupid mistakes. Mike White told us this team does not handle adversity well. They got to do that. They got to refocus when something goes bad against them, because you're playing the Steelers, they're going to face some adversity.
And it's not just the coaches that have to encourage that. The players themselves, you need leadership from your veterans.
Well, that's the one thing I think that the Raiders, they do not have. I talked to Jerry Ball the other day, and I said to Jerry, who is the leader on defense? He said, we don't have one. We're all kind of individuals. Now you have a bunch of individuals playing a team sport. Dick, it doesn't work.
It's a raucous environment here in Oakland, and down on the field is Jim Gray.
All right, thank you very much, Dick. Well, I spoke to Billy Joe Hobert, and he said he basically got a good night's sleep. He said the only time that he was getting nervous is when he was reading his playbook. So about an hour and a half ago, he closed it up and said, if I don't know it by now, I'm never going to get it. He said the thing that really relaxed him this morning is that he ate a donut. Dick?
Yeah, that's those rookies have to buy donuts for the rest of the team, and Hobert gets his share. He just hopes he doesn't leave the game with one plastered on the top of his head. This Steeler defense is going to test his digestion. He might have a glazed look at the end of this day. They're ready to go. The Steelers send it on its way. Down to the 5-yard line. Napoleon Kaufman out last week with a turf toe. Great speed. Flag down. 2 flags down. Opening kickoff. As Kaufman tackled at the 27-yard line after a 22-yard return. Didn't take long to get out the linen, and here we go as referee Larry Nemmers sorts it out. Detroit, the most penalized team in the NFL this year, 9 a game, and Oakland is 2nd. The Raiders have had a habit of leading the league in that category.
Illegal block in the back, number 23. That penalty is accepted. 10 yards.
2 separate penalties, and just a matter which of the 10-yarders you want. And the Steelers take the latter, and Oakland will begin at its 13-yard line. Billy Joe Hobert was not defeated in college at the University of Washington, where the Huskies was 17-0 as a starter. Left Washington after his junior year after accepting $50,000 from a University of Washington fan for expenses. Gives to Harvey Williams, and Williams met in the backfield. A yard loss as Ray Seals makes the tackle. Seals, who leads Pittsburgh with 7.5 sacks. Here are the blockers for Hobert: Stevens, Wisniewski, Turk, Gogan, and Skripanek. In the backfield, Williams, who just carried, Derek Fenner, the fullback, the old Notre Dame wideouts of Tim Brown and Raka Dismail, Andrew Glover, the tight end. When they go to 3 wide, the chief, they call it in Oakland, Darrell Hobbs enters. So Hobert looks at 2nd down and a dozen. Gives to Williams again, and he slips. Another yard loss at the 10. In to make the tackle was 99 Levon Kirkland for Pittsburgh. Number 1 in the league total defense. They're 3 against the run and 3rd best against the pass. Buckner, Steed, and Seals in the 3-4 alignment. Green, Kirkland, Olszewski for the injured Chad Brown, and All-Pro Greg Lloyd. Lake and Williams at the corners. Bell and Perry are the safeties. In the Pittsburgh dime, Dion Figures, a starter at corner last year, now working his way back in shape from that gunshot injury off season, and Chris Oldham enter. 3rd and 13. And the pass complete as Hobart drills it to Tim Brown. 17 on the play.
Excellent job by Tim Brown on that play. He's going out for the pass. Watch him here. Willie Williams, he trips over his foot, falls down, but stays with it, gets back up, and that's why he's wide open in that little hole. Billy Joe, good start there.
And for Tim Brown, he is the first ever Raider to gain over 1,000 yards receiving 3 consecutive years. 74 catches now on the season. Had 89 a year ago. On first down, it's Derek Fenner, and he has a bit more luck, a couple of yards more than Harvey Williams in his 2 carries. Greg Lloyd, Joel Steed, and others in on the tackle.
You know, I just hope that the Raiders, I know they've condensed this offensive game plan for Billy Joe, but Phil, I hope they don't have this kid hand the ball off 2 straight downs to try to run against Pittsburgh and then try to get the 3rd down, pick it up by throwing the football. That's not going to help this guy.
The running game looks just like last week. The uniforms have changed, but the results are the same. Too much penetration by the defensive line.
2nd down and 8. Over 2nd throw, right on the money to Brown. He spins away and has close to a first down at the 36-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 1. Willie Williams on the coverage for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Williams, for the injured Rod Woodson, has played well. And we welcome those of you who have seen the Indianapolis Colts defeat the Jacksonville Jaguars 41-31, and Indianapolis stays in position for a wild card. They're 8-6 on the season. At the Oakland Alameda Coliseum, Bill Cowher's Steelers looking for 7 consecutive wins against the Raiders, who are trying to snap a 3-game losing streak. Just underway. Raiders' first possession. Hobart completed a 17-yard pass for the initial first down. This is 3rd and 1. Williams with a flag down, and he can't cross that 36-yard line necessary for a first. We'll see about the flag. Levon Kirkland stuffed the run.
We hit this on the head, Phil. I mean, this is the same Oakland team as we saw a week ago. They can't run the football. They got what? Last week they got a total of 8 yards and 11 carries, and this week,
motion against the Raiders.
I got to tell you, there's a button on the side of your pants. Show them the button. See that button? Press the button.
You're such a technological wizard.
I listen to our producer, John Francis, all the time, telling me what buttons to hit all the time. So now I got a chance to tell somebody else. Hit the button.
So 4th down and about 1.5 yards, and Jeff Gossett, who in his 14 years in the league has punted for more than 25 miles. That'd be like kicking the ball all the way from here around to Candlestick Park. He'll send it on its way to Andre Hastings. Hastings inside the 20. Gossett averaging just under 41 a punt this year. Facing a 10-man rush. And delivers a solid kick. Hastings at the 16, 25, and toppled at the 29-yard line. Rob Holmberg, a linebacker, with the stop as Neil O'Donnell brings the Pittsburgh Steelers onto the field. O'Donnell, who was the AFC Offensive Player of the Month of November, has Jackson Strelzik All-Pro Dawson, Stye, the rookie from Nebraska, and Searcy, the offensive line. Eric Pegram starts. We'll see Van Morse. John L. Williams, one of the best ever receivers out of the backfield. Thigpen having another solid year, 70 catches. Ernie Mills, the other wideout. Mark Bruner, who played with Hobart at Washington as the tight end. And we'll see Cordell Stewart in the 3 wide, the 4 wide, and the 5 wide. First down, and it's Pegram for nearly 5 to the 34. Greg Biekert and others with the tackle as we check the silver and black defensively. Harrison, Ball, McLaughlin undoubtedly on his way to a Pro Bowl, and Swilling as well. He has 11 sacks to lead the team. Young and Quick, the linebackers, Fredrickson, Biekert, and Jones, who leads in tackles. Terry McDaniel and Albert Lewis at the corners. Dan Ladd replaces the injured Derek Hoskins out with knee surgery. Eddie Anderson, the other hitter at safety, and James Trapp comes in the Oakland Pirate formation. O'Donnell looking for the screen, but it was blown apart by the Raider defense, so he has to unload it out of bounds. Chester McLaughlin was just carrying half of the Steeler line into the backfield as he made his charge.
Excellent job by Mike Jones, the linebacker, number 52. He reads the screen, sees Eric Pegram, and stays with him right there. Neil O'Donnell really has no chance. He has to throw the ball out of bounds. Excellent job by Jones, the linebacker.
Third down and 5.
Excuse me, this was screen all the way, and when you're only going to one guy and you have no outlet people, you got to throw the ball away.
You look at McLaughlin, the tackle. Cordell Stewart is in the 4 wide formation. Stewart in motion. Underneath, incomplete. Wide open was Yancey Thigpen, but O'Donnell throwing off his back foot couldn't make connections.
Yancey Thigpen, this happened a couple of times to him last week. The Raiders get confused. Here you see him right here. He's just going to release and come across. Pittsburgh tries to create a traffic jam up top. And watch him come across here last week against the Houston Oilers. 3 times this happened, and all 3 times the pass was incomplete.
Wasn't a Raider within 10 yards. Ron Stark delivers the left-footed spiral to Tim Brown, the all-time Raider punt returner artist, and he's getting some big yards out to the 35, almost the 36, 15 on the return, 45-yard punt, and Myron Bell made the tackle. A reminder tonight on NBC, Eddie Murphy. Let's get on that late flight. That'll happen. First down at the 35, no score here in the first quarter with 10 minutes remaining, and Billy Joe Hobart guns complete at the 39 to Harvey Williams. Williams, who has 42 catches this year, second to Tim Brown.
We had a good look right there, the strength of Billy Joe Hobart's arm. Look to your left of your screen, you're going to see Harvey Williams go out, nobody open downfield, and he throws this ball and sticks it in a tight spot. Good coverage by Jerry Osofsky, but Billy Joe Hobart, one thing we saw at practice Friday, Paul, you like the strength of his arm.
Oh, he can throw it.
Only 3 on the pickup. Williams. Cut down by Greg Lloyd, the 4-time Pro Bowler, will get a lot of votes for the Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL.
I'll tell you what, you can't run at him, you can't run away from him. He's a complete linebacker. That's what he wants to be. He told us that yesterday. Greg Lloyd, number 95. Watch this. He gets on the tackle, on the tight end, and it gets away from him, reads the run play, and then gets inside. Most players, linebackers, can't make that move inside fast enough. He can.
That's a 5th carry for a -2 yards for the Raiders in this opening quarter. Intercepted by Carnell Lake, intended for Derek Fenner.
One of the things I'm looking at from the defensive secondary, Phil, is in Lake was there. They're just looking at Billy Joe. He's locking himself right in on the guy that he's going to throw to. They're looking at his eyes. Watch him going back. Look at his head. He's just looking at the receiver all the way. Carnell Lake sees it, goes up on Fenner, and almost makes the play.
As a rookie, when was it when you didn't lock in on a receiver, Phil?
About year 14, Dick, so it takes a while. I don't think the Raiders can wait that long, but Pittsburgh doing a smart thing there. They're dropping in zone so the linebackers and the secondary can watch the quarterback and react to the ball.
It's Gossett. His punt toward Andre Hastings. Off the side of the foot. Hastings lets it bounce. Raider roll to the 15-yard line. Well, with 8 minutes and 41 seconds remaining in this first quarter. 46-yard punt, no return, no score. Neil O'Donnell. I think for the first time in the Steel City, there is a true appreciation for the talent of their quarterback.
Well, you know, it really has been a long time. I did a lot of Steeler games there, and they said the one thing that we need is a quarterback, and that's when Neil O'Donnell was there. And he was playing hurt, and people didn't appreciate him. Then when he got hurt at the beginning of this year, and everything was going to pot, and they were 3-4, and O'Donnell comes back, they now know that they have a quality quarterback in Pittsburgh.
What do you like most about him, Phil?
Well, I asked him the question yesterday in front of you two. Was it easier to play in this offense that throws the ball more in last year's?
Cordell Stewart in the slot. They go the other way, and it's complete to Ernie Mills. And Mills, for the injured Charles Johnson, skips out of bounds with Pittsburgh's initial first down across the 30.
Pittsburgh does a good job right here of spreading out the defense, and they get single coverage this side. Neil O'Donnell picks the right side. Ernie Mills does an excellent job of getting past the only person that has a chance to tackle him. That's Terry McDaniel.
All right, here's Ernie Mills outside. Now, he just hooks up real quick and gets back to the outside. When we get back after this play, I want you to finish. What did he say? I'm really interested to hear what he said about this offense.
First down at the 30. Eric Pegram outside. And a gain of 5 to the 35-yard line, where Eddie Anderson comes up from safety to help out Rob Fredrickson.
Well, I think the misconception is if your team is a good running team, which he had last year, that it's easy to play quarterback. So I asked him that, and he says, oh, it's much easier when you throw it because you can get in rhythm and you have many more chances. He says last year it was run, run. Okay, Neil, pick it up on third down. And if you don't, it's run, run, boo. Leave the field. So.
Run, run, boo?
Run, run, boo. That's right.
Second down and 5. Blitz. O'Donnell has a man on the sidelines. Thick pen, and it's complete at the Raider 40-yard line. Albert Lewis on the coverage.
Well, you talk about some nice touch on this play. This is absolutely perfect.
It is. It's a good job. O'Donnell standing in tough against the blitz, and an excellent job on the outside of Yancey Thigpen, giving Albert Lewis a little shake, a move and go. This is how you get open. Watch this. He stutters again. Albert Lewis makes him stop. That's how you get open down the field against these fast defensive backs. Make them stop and restart.
Thigpen, the first in 10 years since Lewis Lips to move over the 1,000-yard mark in receiving. On first down, O'Donnell shoots it, almost picked off by Greg Beekert, the middle linebacker. No score in Oakland. Let's check on other action to New York. 9-5 and put themselves in position for the playoffs. His first carry, not used much to run the ball anymore. He's at the 37-yard line, where Jerry Ball makes the stop.
You know, Phil, on that play to Thigpen, the pass play, when the Raiders threw everything they had at them, they brought a blitz, and they brought about 7 or 8 guys on that blitz. And the Pittsburgh Steelers offense just sat there and picked up every single person. That's got to be discouraging for the defense.
Well, Paul, we've done a few Steeler games, and one of the strengths of this offense, this coaching staff, is they can pick up the blitz and give their players a chance to execute and throw the ball down the field.
4-wide formation. And down the middle they go to Mills. He's open. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Every time Cordell Stewart comes in the game, it appears O'Donnell has a receiver wide open. That 4- and 5-wide formation is driving defenses crazy.
You know what the interesting thing about this is, though, that we were talking to Albert Lewis, and these guys were saying when they go into this 3-wide like this, and on third down especially, they go to Mills, they get away from Thigpen. They were telling us this is what they do. Now they come back, they go to Mills, the guy they knew they were going to throw it to, and he gets a touchdown. It's incredible.
Try for point. Veteran Norm Johnson out of Stark's hold. And the Steelers lead 7-0. This was a touchdown pass against a team that leads the league in being stingy. Only 9 TD passes allowed by the Raiders, and none longer than 39. And O'Donnell hits this one for 37.
Something the Steelers do very well. Watch Ernie Mills right here. All he's going to do is run up this seam right here. The safety's going away. Good read. The Steelers love the seam passes. A good fake at the line of scrimmage, and an excellent throw by O'Donnell, and a nice catch over the shoulder by Ernie Mills.
See, I don't understand why the safety didn't lean that way anyway, because they told us, the Raiders, that they like to throw, O'Donnell likes to throw to Mills or Hastings. And here he goes, he throws to the guy's one-on-one coverage on the outside. Incredible.
It's pick your poison, Paul. They had the other side, a guy going up the field, the same type of route. Neil O'Donnell reads to safety. Whichever way he moves, he goes away from him. That's why there's a single coverage.
Impressive drive, 84 yards in 5 plays. 37 yards on the payoff. O'Donnell to Mills. Mills' 5th touchdown reception of the year.
The Steelers do something interesting, I think. Once they get down to about the 30-yard line to 35 going in to score, Ron Earhart, the offensive coordinator, believes in taking shots to the end zone. Quit trying to get all these drives where you need 6 and 7 plays. And there you see Ron Earhart right there and Neil O'Donnell to get down in there, take a shot from outside, try to get that quick score.
Napoleon Kaufman, who leads the league in kickoff return average, over 28 a return, and the Rocket Ismail are deep as Johnson ready to kick it off. 7-0 Pittsburgh. To Kaufman, the rookie from Washington, and he's tripped up. Lethan Flowers makes the play for the Steelers.
The Steelers had a chance to get that scoring drive. Watch right here. Here you got all the linebackers coming, and look at the pickup. Everybody solid, man to man, picking it up. Gives Neil O'Donnell a chance to go down the field.
Well, you know, the Pittsburgh Steelers, they blitz a lot themselves, so these guys are used to it in training camp. But watch how they slide and move. Nobody's out of position. You just watch them. They check people. They know who they have. They count them in the front, and they just stay home and do the job.
And it's up to the Raiders, down by a touchdown early. Rookie Billy Joe Hobart fakes the toss, chased by Kevin Green, completes to Fenner, and Fenner has a first down at the 33. 11 on the play. Roy Hobart, the son of a former Washington High School champion wrestler, and a man that you said he was playing ping pong the other day down in camp, and he was perspiring. He plays that hard too.
Well, we went to the practice on Friday, and they blew the whistle for everybody to come up, and Billy Joe comes running out of the where's the weight room, but they have a ping pong table. We didn't know that. And the guy's sweating, so good. And Phil says, working out? He says, no, ping pong. And I hate the game I lost.
Yeah, he's a scratch golfer. He played minor league baseball. Gives to Harvey Williams, and Williams with some positive yardage gets about 4 to the 37. Well, last week that rushing game just provided no yardage for the Raiders. In fact, was the 8 yards was the low for the entire season in the NFL. Oakland also in that Monday night game at Denver nearly shut down. And today thus far, oops, 2 yards.
Gonna go again.
Delay. Linesman throws the flag, indicating that might have been some false start for the offense.
Do you see what just happened, Phil? Von Kirkland goes up into the line of scrimmage, fakes like there's a blitz. Billy Joe stopped. Didn't call him, they just stopped. And then we could hear him. LeVon Kirkland, there he is right there. He just walks up, and when he comes up, watch Billy Joe, he stops. Uh-oh, is this blitz? Not. Wait a minute. Then he starts again, and that's when they get the false start. And again, I don't know if they're used to his cadence or not.
See the other scores rolling through. Denver an early lead against Seattle. Underneath to Fenner. Tripped up by Bell, but Fenner making another 3 after the hit to the 40-yard line.
I want to go back to that stat. We're talking about the running game of the Raiders, and they had such great success early in the year running the football. And Paul, you were sitting there yesterday or Friday, and we're talking to Mike White, and he says to us, our line, we're a finesse running football team, and I was so shocked because this is one of the biggest offensive lines in football. He says we do it all with formations, and we just kind of try to trick you. We're a finesse team, and I was just surprised to hear that.
Third down, and it's closer to 3 as Hobert dumps it off to Williams. Williams back inside, and he's smothered at the 43. Might be short. Jason Gilden, one of those down low to make the stop, along with Chris Oldham.
He wanted to go to Hobbs, number 80, down the sidelines, but the coverage was absolutely perfect, so he dumped it back to Harvey Williams, who does not make the first down. They've got to get, he's a whole yard away from a first down. There's no sense in measuring this thing. But the coverage was so great, you know, and in defense of the guy, you know, he's really not used to doing anything. He hasn't played. He was big and eating donuts.
All he can do is throw it. That's right. He's picking and eating donuts. You can only throw it to the guys open, and right there, that was the only person's open. So Billy Joe really did it. Billy Joe Hobert did a good job of throwing to the right man.
2 feet, not a yard, but you were close, Paul.
Well, wait a minute.
Not to argue.
If you have a pulled hamstring, you can't measure off a whole yard. So that's I got. I found a hamstring.
You still got that pull. That's right.
I've been looking for it all year, and I finally found that baby.
4th down, and
Jeff Gossett.
almost a yard as Gossett. Not a good sign when your punter is active 3 times in the opening quarter.
I wouldn't be surprised. You know, I would be surprised in one of these, especially this field position, that the Raiders, you know, fake a punt, do something to get something started for this football team. They've got to do something to make something happen.
Try to draw them off sides, have the center squeeze the ball, fake the snap, anything right here.
And Gossett is their emergency quarterback. He throws very well. At this time.
No, he tried to get him off sides a little fake, didn't work.
Andre Hastings backpedals inside the 10 and pays for it. Down at the 7. 52-yard punt, only 2 on the return. James Folston and others down to make the play. With 3:33 left in the opening quarter, reminder that's Saturday, next Saturday. Lexus Challenge, following football next Saturday on NBC.
Oh, how come you're not playing in that?
My handicap's just a little bit too high. Yeah.
Leading 7-0. Steelers deep in their own end. And Pigra able to break. They had him for a loss at the 4. Able to fight forward to the 8-yard line. Pat Swilling making the stop.
Jerry Ball was right in the backfield. He comes in on Tom Newberry, 66, but Jerry Ball, 93. This is the guy that makes it happen. Watch him take Newberry all the way back into the runner. Bang! He's the guy that disrupts it, and Swilling makes the play. But Ball, that is a load. They've got him listed at 325. That's only half of his body.
It's just part of the ball, huh? Double tight end, Hayes and Bruner bookend the line. Second for O'Donnell, goes long. Incomplete. This time for Mills. The touchdown maker, Terry McDaniel, had him well blanketed.
Again, a good job by the Steelers picking up the blitz and giving Neil O'Donnell a chance to go down the field. And if the Raiders are going to use this philosophy all day, we're going to see some big pass plays by the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I believe that the Raiders, you've got to get into coverage and get out of that, because if you're throwing your maximum blitz at a team and they're picking it up, that's discouraging, especially for your defensive back.
This is not the Steelers of old. They can make plays down the field throwing the football.
Here comes Slash Stewart. Cordell is in. He's wide left and in motion. Underneath to Williams, incomplete, and it almost ricocheted into the hands of Najee Mustafa. There is a flag down. In the backfield of the Steelers.
It's against the Raiders.
Holding the call against the Raiders as we welcome those of you who have seen the Buffalo Bills maintain their hold atop the Eastern Division of the AFC with a 45-27 win against the St. Louis Cardinals. So Buffalo puts pressure on Miami. Miami hosts Kansas City tomorrow night. Here's the touchdown. Steelers 7-0, 37 yards. O'Donnell to Ernie Mills, and it came out of that 5 wide or 4 wide formation. And I don't think enough has been made of that, gentlemen. This is really, they say, the sameness of the professional game. But here is Bill Cowher. He's come up with something revolutionary.
Somebody has found a new wrinkle. 5 wide receivers. It kind of started out as a gimmick, but what they have done, they just every week they add a new play to it. And Mike White said they have a whole package out of it, and it makes it very difficult to prepare for the Pittsburgh Steelers because of that.
Well, on the defensive hold, the automatic first down, a big break for the Steelers. Stewart in motion, and it's batted and almost intercepted by Andre Bruce.
Well, this could have been turning. You talk about turning something around. This could have done it for the Raiders. They needed it.
If you're a defensive lineman in this league, you see the quarterback take a short drop, get ready to jump, get those hands up. Right there, the Raiders do an excellent job of it.
Bruce is the guy that does it, too. He knocks the ball up in the air, then makes the turn around and almost makes the catch. You know, the other thing about the 5 wide, it wasn't by accident that they got there, and I'll get to that after this play.
And it wasn't Cordell Stewart that started it off. It was before Cordell. Second down and 10. Shooting into the open all the way to the 36-yard line. Terry McDaniel saved a touchdown. 22 yards for Eric Pegram.
I'm going to tell you something. What a great run. This is what this guy brings to it. He's the guy, the speed to get to the outside. He said to us, I wish we could run more to the inside. Well, John L. Williams gets an excellent block. The line blocks. Thigpen got a sensational block downfield, and Pegram makes the first down.
Chester McLaughlin, the star young defensive tackle for the Raiders, injured on the play. Looking at his left ankle.
Well, if you pick the player off.
Here at 7-0 Pittsburgh, for you to enjoy these special words. Central Division clinching title game last week. A lot more to do, and they've started well today against the Raiders, who have lost 3 in a row. The 37-yard scoring pass, O'Donnell to Ernie Mills, only the 10th touchdown pass allowed by this Raider defense, best in the league against TD passes. O'Donnell is 3 for 8, and all those completions were on that drive. 84 yards in 5 plays for the Steeler touchdown.
Dick, we were talking about 5 wide and how they got around it. Barnes was a receiver that the Steelers had. They lost him, so they put Cordell Stewart in there. But they were using a back. And when they said, well, when we're running a back, can a wide receiver do what a back's doing? And that's when Bill Cowher said, let's put a receiver in there. They ended up with 5 wides.
Pegram, the former Atlanta Falcon, is close to the 45-yard line. A gain of nearly 9. Mike Jones makes the tackle. Well, this is if you're going to log it like the Dow Jones, this is teams going in different directions. The Steelers, as you know, with injuries to their cornerbacks and to O'Donnell, started 3 and 4. The Raiders started well, but have lost 3 in a row. They're on a downslope, and the Steelers, well, the sound effects tell it all. They're on an up.
That was Sims' stomach.
Yeah.
It's second and short, and Pegram picks his hole and able to wiggle across for the first down at the 48-yard line. Anthony Smith, the NFL Man of the Year for the Oakland Raiders, makes the tackle. Anthony is the NFL Man of the Year candidate for the Raiders. The national winner or NFL winner will be announced in a week or so. And for the Pittsburgh Steelers, Greg Lloyd, the Pittsburgh NFL Man of the Year.
Well, the difference in this ball game right now is that the Raiders cannot run the football. They have 2 yards running, and the Steelers can. And as long as they can run it, they're going to jam it down their throat.
Man of the Year for the community service by an NFL player. O'Donnell incomplete to John L. Williams drops the ball as Greg Beaker covering for the Raiders.
Frederickson was on a blitz, and I don't think anybody picked him up. He came to the inside, and John L. didn't read it.
John L. has him in the blitz. He realizes too late. You're going to see the blitz come here. Once John L. from back here release on the pass, and all of a sudden he's going to go Whoops, I missed him. Throw it to me real quick, Neil.
And then he drops it.
Well, it was a good job by Neil O'Donnell seeing that the blitz wasn't picked up, so he threw it to the guy who was supposed to pick the blitz right.
That's one of those, look out, I'm open.
Yeah, that's right. The old lookout block. They help sometimes out there, though, Dick.
On 2nd and 10, a reverse to Mills, trapped and dragged down by Pat Swilling. Not fooled a bit.
Well, Neil O'Donnell was supposed to get a block, and he misses, and that's a tough assignment for a quarterback to block a linebacker, and Pat Swilling gets it.
Well, Pat Swilling does a good job of being disciplined and staying backside, because I'm telling you, if he is not there, Ernie Mills is going to run down for about a 30-yard gain, because the Raiders were really fooled on the play, except Pat Swilling.
Look at Pat Swilling. Now, see, he just sees it, reads it. He sees the handoff over there. I hate this play. I'm telling you right now, this play works less and less every time you see this thing, and it gets you in trouble. Here they are moving the ball down the field, and you try a gadget, what they don't have to do.
3rd and 22. A dozen lost on the play. O'Donnell dumps it off to John L. Williams. Flags flying in the defensive secondary. Rob Frederickson makes the tackle well short of a first down. Now, don't forget, a defensive hold has kept this drive alive for Pittsburgh. They were stopped inside the 10-yard line. We're about to punt when on 3rd down the Raiders were guilty of a foul.
You got to have another holding penalty. They were grabbing Cordell Stewart all over the place, and the guys are down. This is what happened.
Too many men in the field on the defensive team. That's a 5-yard penalty. Repeat 3rd down.
Well, I thought there was holding when I see the flag with Cordell, but it wasn't. 12 guys.
It'll be the Steelers' 3rd and about 17 when the second quarter begins. Welcome you back to the Oakland Alameda Coliseum. Dick Enberg with Phil Simms and Paul McGuire. The Steelers on a 37-yard touchdown pass. O'Donnell to Mills lead at 7-0 after a quarter. And it's Pittsburgh, 3rd down and 16 at their own 43 as we open the second period. They go to the 5 wide. O'Donnell dumps it off to Andre Hastings, and Hastings has a first down at the 40-yard line. Tackled by Chester McLaughlin.
What an outstanding run after the catch.
Excellent job right here. What you're going to see, look at Andre Hastings. He's in the backfield, picking up first for the blitz. There is not a blitz. He releases. Neil O'Donnell sees him, and all he does is really just makes a good run against the defense. It's all spread out because of the 4 wide receivers.
And too many men on the field gave them the opportunity again to pick up another first down. And we're going to show you something on too many men on the field in a moment.
First down, 17 on the play. Give it to Pegram, and he makes a yard. 12 men on the field on that penalty.
No, not 12. Boys and girls, how about 13? They had 13 people on the field and on the play, and that's why the flag was thrown. I want you to see, here's the line. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 there, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and hello down here. See this guy? He's on the field. That's 13.
That's why they got 2 penalty flags, right? Have you ever seen any more than that? And that's a big play by Hastings to continue the drive, and now O'Donnell under pressure, dumps it off, complete. Yancey Thigpen ridden down by Terry McDaniel, but not until the Steelers enjoy another first down. 13 in the play.
This goes back again to blocking and picking it up. Here goes the offensive line. Excellent blocking.
Excellent job on the offensive line, giving Neil O'Donnell a chance to step up. What the Steelers are doing, you see all these crossing routes, receivers crossing each other, trying to get free against that man coverage right there.
Look at, here's a blitz. You've got 6 guys coming, and they pick up everybody.
John L. Williams again doing an excellent job of picking up a blitzer.
Yancey Thigpen, his second catch. Pam Morris in the backfield for the first time, and he gets the handoff, and Pat Swilling tackles him. Let's see if Bam, yeah, he has the shield on, or does he?
Yes, he does.
Yep, he does. He said, I'm going to wear it this week, and we asked him why, and he said, because last year when we played the Raiders down at the Coliseum, when they tackle me down under the pile, those guys go for your eyes. They scratch at you.
It was scratching his eyes, and this is the first time he's had this done, and he said, I'm putting it on. You're not going to get to my eyes.
That's smart. Experience. So. You learn those things. He's a Wiley Crafty veteran now. Make those good moves.
Wiley Crafty.
That's it.
WCB. O'Donnell deflected incomplete, and Mills was open. but one of the defensive linemen able to get a hand on it.
Well, I'll tell you, first of all, when we talk about the 5 wide, they weren't there. But when you're taking all of these players that they have and they're running all these crossing patterns, Phil, they're driving the defenses nuts.
Again, you can see, watch Ernie Mills coming across your screen, looking to the right. If Chester McLaughlin doesn't reach a hand up there and hit it, Ernie Mills has a lot of free room to run with again.
You've got Beaker, the linebacker, covering a wide receiver. Now, I know Beaker's fast and Fredrickson's fast, but they're not that fast.
3rd and 8 at the Raider 24. One running back, 4 wide. O'Donnell to the sidelines. Andre Hastings unable to pull it in. James Trapp, the extra DB, able to cover Hastings on the play, and on comes the field goal unit, Norm Johnson.
Well, this time the Raiders do a good job of getting the right personnel in there against the Steelers' 4 wide receiver set. And Paul, he told us yesterday, Albert Lewis was telling us how difficult it was to get the right defensive players in there in all the situations because the Steelers have so many formations and different personnel sets.
The veteran Johnson from UCLA had a solid year. This is a 42-yard attempt. High snap. Stark gets it down, and Johnson knocks it through. 10-0 Steelers. Good job by the holder, who is also a good catcher, Stark. It's worth 3. Had Pittsburgh stopped inside the Steeler 10, extended the drive with a penalty, a holding penalty, and Pittsburgh goes 69 yards, settles for the 42-yard field goal and a 10-0 lead as Johnson kicks it off to Napoleon Kaufman. Kaufman at the 20, breaks through at the 30, and he's out to the 38. Oh, he has dangerous speed. Napoleon Kaufman, the #1 pick of the Raiders from the University of Washington. Alameda Coliseum. Let's see, you told me what position he played.
Safety.
Oh, that's right, the safety.
Strong safety,
the
actually.
pin gives it away. That's right.
It. His mom and dad, I'm sure they're proud of him today.
Honey, I'm home.
That's right.
10-0 Steelers. Raiders from the 37. 38-yard line. Homer down the field. Incomplete, well over Andrew Glover's head. Let's go back to the 1992 Rose Bowl. Billy Joe Hobert and the Washington Huskies against the Michigan Wolverines. Hobert then was a sophomore quarterback, threw for 2 touchdown passes, 192 yards through the air, and showing his scrambling to set up a score there. A second could run it well as he runs this one in, capping a 12-0 Washington season and the national championship. And he makes his first NFL start today. Caught from behind, gets away from Green and completes it to Glover. Only a 2-yard gain, but he saved about a 7-yard loss and took a sack away from Kevin Green.
Well, Skrepenek is hurt because Kevin Green just ran right over him. Now, I'm telling you, look at Skrepenek's on the ground. There's Kevin Green right there. And it gives you the strength of Billy Joe Hobert. He runs out of the grasp. But before that, what Kevin Green did to Skrepenek, I mean, he just ran right through the man and over him.
Then you see the strength of Billy Joe Hobert right here. Paul, like you said before the game, this is a big guy. He's strong, and he pulls away from Kevin Green.
I grabbed him by the arm, and I hurt my hand. I mean, the guy's solid. He's like a rock.
230 pounds is Hobert. On 3rd down. Fires complete to Darryl Hobbs to the Pittsburgh 40. 21 on the play. Oh, he showed an arm on that throw.
Yes, he did. The offensive line does an excellent job of letting Billy Joe Hobert drop back. What's the offensive line right here? He gets to stand back there, wait that extra second for the deep route down the field to get open. Darryl Hobbs doing an excellent job.
There's no real secret about playing quarterback. Look at that.
Hey,
Winky, I got you.
He's loose.
I tell you, there's no secret to playing quarterback if you have time to throw the football. They got to give this guy time. We know what kind of arm he's got.
Got a lot of moxie, too. To Williams. And Levon Kirkland. Oh, did he
Phil.
As Olszewski had slowed him down, and Kirkland applied the knockout punch.
I'll tell you, if I'm a halfback in this system right now, I go back to the quarterback and say, I don't care, don't call any running play. And if you are, give it to the other guy. Don't give it to me. Because Levon Kirkland and Olszewski, number 55, watch him stand up, get inside, and here's Olszewski, and here comes Kirkland over the top. Man, that is beautiful.
Well, that'll shorten your neck size, those kinds of tackles. Second and 10. Williams, 6 carries for 1 yard today. He's having a tough time getting to that 1,000-yard mark. That one hops as Williams out of the backfield, and Hobart had to hurry.
I'm not talking about this. His mother got mad because
she was mad. No, wait, hold
about his neck.
Got mad at who?
Got mad at Dick.
No,
you.
No, it was
Not
you.
me. I didn't talk about his neck.
No,
I think he has a beautiful neck.
Well, it says it's the sloping shoulders. We gave him the Billy Truax Award for the all-neck team, and he claims that the Raiders themselves have voted, and they say that even in this area he doesn't have the biggest neck, that a 49er has
Burton
that.
Hank, yes.
Burton Hank. The longest neck.
Longest neck.
Long neck.
Nothing wrong with a good long neck.
No.
I didn't say it, Mr. Williams.
Yes, he did.
3rd and 10. Fenner knocked in the air and completed, but it slowed down the play, and that allowed the tackle from Darren Perry. Kevin Green deflected the pass. A gain, well, actually no gain, back to the 40-yard line, and we have our first little pushing match.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I don't think the Raiders are going to challenge the Pittsburgh Steelers like they did against the Kansas City Chiefs.
Look at the blitz right here. You're going to see Chris Odom coming in, and then Carnell Lake's going to loop inside and come free. That's why Billy Joe Hobart has to get rid of the football right there. There you see Carnell Lake coming in untouched, has to drop it off to Harvey Williams outside.
Yeah, this would be a time for a fake if you have one. You're on your opponent's 40-yard line. Gossett trying to drop one inside the 10 to Hastings. Nice snap. Fair catch by Hastings at the 12-yard line. Timeout, 8:46 left in the opening half. Zone. Steelers leading 10-0. Billy Joe Hobart's debut as an NFL starting quarterback. A bit empty at this point as the Steelers have defended well. Start at their own 12-yard line. Give to Bam Morris. And he's to the 15, a pickup of 3. Mike Jones and other make the tackle. Well, the season started as tough as it can for Bill Cowher. He loses in the opening game as quarterback Neil O'Donnell and All-Pro Rod Woodson, and he doesn't have Deion Figures, the other starting quarterback of a year ago, a shooting accident in the offseason, and they go 3-4. And then he comes up with a nice little piece of psychology.
Yeah, he says to him, he says, okay, I'll get to it right after this play here.
You love to keep him waiting anyway.
Oh, yeah. Make him wait a little bit.
It up and had some daylight for a moment, stumbled and covered by Eddie Anderson. First down at the 26.
So what Bill Cowher said to his team, he said, look, we can look at this team, this season as a write-off, 3-4, or we can start our season all over again. We've got 9 games to play. Let's take them one at a time, have a new season. Well, folks, they've won 6 in a row out of that 9, and they've got 3 to play, and they're winning this game here.
And he's already using that same philosophy, psychology for the playoffs.
He said 16 days from now, we're all going to be even, the ones that are in the playoffs. And he's absolutely right. There is no record after that.
Nose in motion. He has the touchdown catch. O'Donnell swilling has his 12th sack of the year. And he comes flying through the block.
Right there, the Raiders did an excellent job down the field. They played a zone, and they make Neil O'Donnell hold the ball a little longer than he wants to. The defenders are back. You see Pat Swilling finally getting past the tackle. John Jackson, and makes the sack.
Boy, he puts a move. He just spins to the inside, and Jackson, he just takes him back, and it dives right at O'Donnell. What an excellent play.
He was the NFL Defensive Player of the Year in '91 when he had 17.5 sacks. Second and a bunch. Knocked in the air. Touchdown, Raiders. Andre Bruce gets the carom. Anthony Smith made the block.
What a tremendous Nice defensive play, and this is what this team needs. They needed somebody to step up and do something. Offensively, they weren't doing a thing. Defensively, they've been close, but not close enough until here. Anthony Smith makes the block, knocks the ball into Bruce. Bruce gets all the credit, and no one's shaking Anthony's hand.
1-yard touchdown interception from Andre Bruce. Jaeger out of Gossett's hold for the extra point. And it's a 10-7 game thanks to the collaboration of Anthony Smith and Andre Bruce. Watch Smith, 94. Boom, off his helmet, right to Bruce. 1-yard touchdown, 10-7. Come to the climactic games of this 95 NFL season. The mailman posted about 51 last night for the Jazz, and Andre Bruce and Anthony Smith did their version of block and rebound, as Smith with a block, Bruce gathered the rebound, a 1-yard touchdown. Jaeger to the 10, Ernie Mills. Fake the reverse, and Mills keeps it at the 30, the 40. Jaeger can't bring him down, and finally at the 33, the touchdown-saving tackle by Eric Ball. Andre Hastings with a return off the fake to Mills. His career-long kickoff return, 58 yards, faking to Hastings, and look at how many Raiders went for the fake.
Well, right here, now watch, once he gets by, watch him explode. Now when he explodes, Jaeger's going to come up and try to make the tackle, but he just runs through him. Man, that's an explosion. I love that.
Steelers have a history of running reverses, so they go for the fake.
You like all that stuff.
I love that. That's
happy.
Right. You know, that's why it works, because they do have a big history of running a lot of reverses.
They come out 4 wide with 1 running back, and now O'Donnell shifts out. Stewart on a quarterback draw. Can't quite make the corner to the 30, a gain of 2. Beekert makes the stop.
Well, the Raiders weren't worried about Neil O'Donnell going out for a pass or anything, but what that was right there was the counter tray off of the shotgun for the quarterback. There you see Neil O'Donnell going out, and Neil just get out of the way of everybody.
Look at who covered him. Nobody.
Yeah.
That yard marker covered him.
He'll go back to the huddle and tell the quarterback I was wide open, like all the receivers do. But there you see Cordell Stewart. The Raiders do a good job of getting penetration and stopping the play.
Having fun. Having fun. O'Donnell underneath to Pigram, incomplete. Let's go back to the Raider touchdown. Smith blocking, Bruce recovering.
It's a good job by the Raiders. Here's Anthony Smith. Watch him come up the field. He sees it. It's a screen on 2nd and long. The Steelers love to run screens. He sees it, gets his hands up, knocks it down. Andre Bruce intercepts it. And
Anthony tried to steal it from him. Say, give me that ball back.
Because you know what? Tomorrow, nobody's going to care that Anthony Smith hit it. They just know that Mr. Bruce made the touchdown.
O'Donnell, who had his toughest game of the year against Houston a week ago, is only 5 for 15. Underneath to Thigpen. It's interesting that Thigpen, who wears 82, that was John Stallworth's number. Stallworth has the Pittsburgh season record, 80 catches. That was 11 years ago, and Thigpen started today with 70. Looks as if he might pass the great John Stallworth.
He's been consistent all year, getting open, making the tough catches, and right there was you see the receptions for a season.
He's got a couple more games after this to move past the 80 mark.
Bill Cowher told us in preseason that this guy was going to be one of the premier receivers in the league, and we didn't believe him, but we believe him now.
From the 21 after the first down, Pigram, a yard gain.
You know, on that last play that he threw the Thigpen, but when you sit there and watch him, he had the lanes to throw it. That offensive line, not only do they block well, but they give the quarterback the lanes to throw the football in.
A gain of 1 yard. 2nd and 9.
It's 2nd down and 9 as you look into that Steeler huddle, anchored by their 3-time Pro Bowl center, Dermontti Dawson, number 63.
Maybe the best center in the National Football League.
Mills in motion. O'Donnell hitting the ankle. It's intercepted by Smith, and Bruce will escort him to the end zone, but hold on. I think they're going to bring it back.
why the referee blew the whistle.
Mike White, disbelief. Instead of a touchdown, Pittsburgh will retain possession. This is no more than a sack. Boy, that Anthony Smith, Andre Bruce combination, they're going to have their sign out.
Watch what happens right here. Neil O'Donnell, Pat Swilling's got him. The other defenders are coming to hit him. The referee, you can see, is blowing the whistle before the ball is kicked up in the air.
Even if they had replay, they're blowing the whistle right here. He's in the grass, and there's a guy hitting him. But I'm going to tell you something. That was so quick. That ball came out. I believe it's a fumble. Up in the air. As the ball goes up, look at this. He goes to throw it up in the air. It's Anthony Smith is there.
Would have been a 71-yard reach.
Making a positive play right here to get a chance to kick a field goal.
12 yards on the play, and on comes the field goal unit.
Watch Pat Swilling right here again. John Jackson, who's missed a few games with injury, just overpowers him right there. Gets in the face of Neil O'Donnell, and Pittsburgh very lucky it wasn't a touchdown for the Raiders.
Boy, with Chester McLaughlin there, though, I mean, that was really a heads-up call by the official to make that call.
Johnson, 35-yard attempt. Boy, that's a 10-point swing on one whistle. No touchdown for the Raiders. 35-yard field goal, Johnson. Anthony Smith, who play led to the touchdown, batting the ball to Andre Bruce, thought he had one of his own. 71 yards and no go. In the grass call, a quick whistle, but as you look at the replay, you can understand that judgment.
Anthony better get him some oxygen. He's about to pass out.
Napoleon Kaufman and Rocket Ismail are deep. It's to the rookie Kaufman at the 10. Slips. And finally out of bounds at the 26-yard line. Chris Oldham made the tackle. 3:13 left in the half. Let's go to Jim Gray.
All right, thanks, Dick. The Raider defense is getting beaten up. Jerry Ball, strained left calf. He probably will not return today. Very questionable. And James Folston fractured his wrist. He's done for the day. And, in fact, they're going to have to evaluate him for the rest of the season. Dick?
All right, Jim. And, of course, the Raiders have lost a valuable starter, Derek Hoskins. Knee surgery. He'll be out for the rest of the year. 18 rushes, only 10 yards total. Last two games for the Raiders. Harvey Williams has been sitting on 900 plus for 2 games, looking for 1,000, and he doesn't get anything there. Flag down.
Well, let me just say one thing in defense of Skripnik. Now he's playing, and we didn't realize it, but this guy, they didn't tell us anything about it, but Jim Gray did. He's got a broken rib, and he's playing. That happened to him last week. You talk about toughing something out.
Illegal motion. Number 22 offense. Penalty is refused. Second down.
I would, but you don't gain any yards.
Harvey Williams needing only 68 yards to reach the 1,000-yard rushing mark. No Raider has accomplished that since Marcus Allen 10 years ago, and he must be wondering what's happening to the game. He's been running rather freely all year, and suddenly can't buy a yard. The 35, shy of the first down by 3. Willie Williams, the tackler.
If I'm the Oakland Raiders, I throw the ball first and start to run the ball off the passing game, because they've proven for 2 straight weeks they are not going to be able to line up on first or second down and just run straight at you. They're going to have to use deception, run draws, make it look like a pass, and then try to sneak a run in there when they can.
Don't you think that they got to get this ball down the field a little bit, though? They've tried one long pass, and that was to Glover, who pulled up short about 12 yards, and he doesn't have the time to throw. I understand that.
Incomplete. Right at the yardsticks to Napoleon Kaufman, and Hobart throwing under some severe pressure.
It looked like that time Philly tried to put some touch on the ball instead of drilling it in.
Well, he had to throw it pretty quick before he wanted to, because he had pressure, and right there he's holding his right hand and probably just got hit by a helmet of a defensive lineman.
You don't think he's going to come out of the game, do you, with a hurt hand? Not this guy.
Says it's so intense that he perspires when he plays cards.
So does Paul.
Oh, yeah, I do.
Slippery aces, huh? Gossett's 5th punt of the half.
Oh, beautiful.
Hastings. Well, recovered by the special teams of the Raiders at the 22. 47 on the punt, 4 on the return. Let's check on Hobart as they look at that right mid of his.
Well, looks like he's okay. Let's look at the replay, and you see he has to throw the ball a little before he's ready. Princeton Buckner, oh, he reaches that hand up there and hit Billy Joe Hobart's arm as he was following through right there. Watch his right arm, hit Princeton Buckner's right arm, right hand to hand.
Yeah, that's no high five there.
No, it's not. How come I knew that was coming?
I don't know.
Rod Martin, one of my college buddies right there, the trainer for the Oakland Raiders.
Well, gee, there's a guy in the 12th row that used to go to the Citadel. You want to show him?
No, nobody went to the Citadel.
2:05 left in the half. Plows for a couple as we hit the 2-minute warning. Here in Oakland, it's the Steelers by 6. Look at him.
Well, I'm just so glad we have a play-by-play guy with us today.
That's really, I really appreciate that.
Thank you very much.
I'm glad too. 13-7. Isn't that interesting? Remember the immaculate reception? That's 13 years ago. 13-7. Franco Harris beats the Raiders.
Well, the 7 isn't going to get any more unless the Oakland Raiders learn how to run the football.
Well, it's really surprising. I think coming in this game today, a third-string quarterback. I expected the Raiders to dig down in there and be able to run the football. No success, no matter what they try, outside or inside.
And the meanwhile, that Steelers 5-wide formation, I think the whole league is starting to get serious about studying that.
During the offseason, like the other fans that hit the league, Buddy Ryan's defense, I think teams will study it and try to copy some of it during the offseason.
You also have to have 5 good wide receivers.
That helps.
They say 13 years ago, I missed 10 years, 23 years ago. The immaculate reception. Hastings to the 18-yard line and a loss.
Well, I don't understand that play because they ran the screen down by the goal line and ended up in a touchdown for the Raiders.
That's 3 screens today by the Steelers, and none of them have worked, so I don't think we'll see any more of them.
Instead of load them.
Stop the Steelers, get the ball with a last chance shot here in the half. O'Donnell, well protected, no one open, and has to throw it away. Good coverage by the Raider defense. Cordell for the punt, a veteran from Florida State. He, like Jeff Gossett, in his 14th season. Oh, he hit it. It's a good one. Back to the 37. Fair catch, Brown. Well, we talked about the immaculate reception of 1972. Terry Bradshaw, desperate, last play of the game. No one open, scrambles, looks for Frenchie Fuqua, hoping to get in field goal range, but it wouldn't matter. The clock had run out. Jack Tatum with a hit, and Franco Harris in the right place at the right time for perhaps the most memorable single play in NFL history. And on to the Super Bowl and their 4 Super Bowl titles. And Al Davis still claims that Fuqua touched the ball first. It was an illegal play. Hobart has to throw this one to the sidelines, incomplete. Rocket Ismail was out of bounds. Covered well by Willie Williams.
Did you see who was in that box with Al Davis? Jim Plunkett, Jim Otto, Fred Biletnikoff. There's Jim Plunkett right in front of Al Davis, Jim Otto, and Freddie Biletnikoff. Great memories with those guys.
MVP in the Super Bowl, Biletnikoff beat the Vikings at the Rose Bowl. 13-7 Steelers. Hobart on 2nd and 10. Down the middle, complete. Hobbs, it's rolled incomplete pass. Didn't get both feet down as Greg Lloyd jarred it free.
Excellent job right there. Billy Joe Hobart standing in the pocket and waiting as long as he can. Watch Darryl Hobbs from the outside come in. Tim Brown inside clearing it out. Just a little too bit far out of his reach. Good job by the Pittsburgh secondary making the hit.
You know who that was? 95. You know who he is? He's downfield making a hit on Hobbs. I can tell you right now, you're not going to hold on to the ball. Look at this guy.
He's got the temperament of Jack Lambert and the legs, he says. They say the cerebral linebacker like Andy Russell and so instinctive like him. Great in the open space. Complete to Hobbs. 49 of Pittsburgh. First down. 1:10 on the clock. Raiders have 2 timeouts left.
The Raiders are finding out they can have success throwing the ball inside on this Pittsburgh Steelers defense, and they're finally doing it.
Taking a lot of time to get this play off. 20 seconds, 21 seconds after the last one. Herbert throws from his knees to Williams for a yard gain.
Got to take a timeout right here. There he finally does.
41 seconds left in the half.
Well, when you see Kevin Green, 91, watch this on Scribbanek. He comes in, Hobart's down on the ground. He sees him coming, and that's a great throw. He's going backwards. He's almost on the ground, and watch the power in this guy's arm. Down, bam. That ball gets there in a heartbeat.
Well, you find this power, this surge when Kevin Green is coming at you unblocked. Those things happen.
You know, here you look at Billy Joe Hobart. His nickname, and it'll tell you a lot about his personality, is Mongo.
Oh, he doesn't like that. I call him.
Hey, I'll tell you something. Now, yesterday, to me, was absolutely amazing. John L. Williams.
Yeah.
He bet old Whitehair over here.
Whitey?
Yeah, Whitehead over here. He bet him $50 that he can kneel down and throw the ball 53 yards across the field. Look at the hands on this guy. He kneels down. Watch this. Wow! Bam! Across the field. He never paid.
Yes, I did. I got to donate $50 to his charity. That's what we.
That's 160 feet, 53 1/3 yards from his knees. Hobart intercepted by Greg Lloyd. And Lloyd is to the 40 of the Raiders, tackled by Hobart.
Now, we've been talking about Greg Lloyd. When you talk about guys, you expect him to do something. He not only rushes the passer, he makes the play at the line of scrimmage, but look at what he does here, Phil.
There you see him dropping back, and what happens is it's the same play they ran a few minutes ago. This time, Greg Lloyd gets back in the throwing lane. Again, Billy Joe Hobart trying to throw it to Darryl Hobbs. Greg Lloyd is there for the interception.
You know what I love about him? You watch him drop folks and make the play. But let me tell you something. We talked to him yesterday, and I said to him, I said, have you ever played the perfect game? He said, no, I have never done that, and I don't want to, because I think if you do that, you go down the hill. But the one thing about this guy says, I don't want to be remembered as a rush linebacker, a running linebacker. I want to be remembered by the whole package.
Well, he's got the credentials this year. 5 wide for O'Donnell. Just gets it off to John L. And he's wrestled down after a short gain at the 37-yard line. 24 seconds, and the Steelers used the first of their 3 timeouts. Reminder coming up at half play, and by his attitude in the clubhouse, his toughness. On second down, O'Donnell to the sidelines. Thigpen, did he make the catch?
Oh,
He was juggling the ball. What an effort by Thigpen. Incomplete, nevertheless.
I'll tell you, that time they had Cordell Stewart coming across the middle. He was open. There's the throw. Well,
boy, look awful good to me.
Yeah.
Where's the juggle?
You notice again a lot of players slipping on this grass. We saw the quarterback Billy Joe Hobart. Yancey Thigpen slips and makes the catch. He's inbounds, both feet.
That's an excellent catch. They took this one away. Now, if they had replay, that one they would have overruled.
Inconclusive.
Wow, no, and they can't say no.
Bite your tongue.
5 wide.
Deep to Cordell scored and a first down at the 14-yard line with 15 seconds left in the half. 23 on the play.
That's slash.
Well, Cordell Stewart has been going across the field all day long, and this time they change up, and he fakes, kind of goes down the field, fakes a little inside. They have him covered with a linebacker. Neil O'Donnell spots him way down the field in between the corner and the safety, Eddie Anderson.
The one thing about this guy, now we all know, we've said it before because we did it in the game, he wants to play quarterback, but he's slash. You see that over here on the right-hand side? That's a slash right here. That's the guy. But I'll tell you something, he has got tremendous hands.
Wonderful personality. He's just a kid having a lot of fun. With 15 seconds left into the end zone. Touchdown, wide open Mills. Again, his second of the half. Yep, he's got 2.
They're having fun. They're having fun.
Greg Lloyd intercepts, and the Steelers convert in a hurry as O'Donnell finds Ernie Mills open again.
Remember one other thing that happened last week in the Kansas City game, the third play of the game, the Raiders intercepted a pass and get a touchdown. They don't get another touchdown on offense until late in the game when Billy Joe came in and threw 2 touchdown passes. By that time, the game was already over.
14 yards on the touchdown as Johnson in for the point after. Well, you talk about this second quarter, man. You get the interception for the Raiders. Looks like it's a touchdown. They have the lead. No, and the Steelers get a field goal. 10-point swing. You got the Raiders still down by only 6. They're driving into the half. Do they get a score, take the lead? No, Lloyd intercepts, and instead it's the Steelers 20-7.
Ernie Mills is going to come in here right here and go right down the middle of the field. This safety should see him and pick him up. Does not do it. The Steelers moving a lot of players around, trying to confuse the Raiders secondary, and right there, Ernie Mills, nobody covering him down the middle.
You know, the thing that bothers me about this thing, there's no other receivers out there. I don't know what they were watching. I know it's a zone, and it is zone defense. When Mills goes in the middle of the zone, nobody even touches it.
Billy Joe Hobert, his reaction, the interception. That's, you know, he takes it on his own shoulders, and Greg Lloyd again punctuating his.
Wait a minute.
Well, there's some wisdom in that.
There is. You know, I understood that. He's just going to come out and play and let it happen and not think too much.
Rocket Ismail doesn't have to take it out. It was the momentum of the kicking team that sent it through his hands into the end zone, and the Raiders take it at the 20-yard line.
Did he say he understood it?
It's a quarterback thing, Paul. You know, we got this way of talking and understanding each other.
Oh, please help me.
Oh. How could a kicker understand that? That's what I want to know.
I think we should have had a couple of buys. He understood that one.
Mike White, boy, the face becoming more drawn and the furrows deeper as this season has developed. His team once 8-2 and trying to break out of a 3-game losing streak. 9 seconds left on the clock, and they're just going to kneel it down. That never makes the home team crowd that happy. Raiders perhaps with a tough break didn't get a touchdown on a quick whistle. And the Steelers using a Greg Lloyd interception late in the half to build a 27 lead. We'll be sending you to our NFL on NBC studios in New York in a moment. First, these words from your local station. And the Raiders, but for the defensive touchdown, shut out in the opening half.
Well, you see that little one over there, that yellow guy, 1 yard rushing. If you can't run the football, you can't win in the National Football League, and there's no secret to it.
The thing that sticks out in my mind the first half, the interception Billy Joe Hobert threw right before the half ended. Mike White made a point to us the other day. A quarterback, the most important thing you can do is manage the football game. You get in those situations, you have to know, no matter what, I cannot make a mistake. He made a fatal mistake right there.
Ernie Mills takes the second half kickoff for the Steelers. The man who scored on 2 touchdown passes is tackled at the 25 as we go down to Jim Gray.
Thanks, Dick. Well, Billy Joe Hobert did change his cleats at halftime. He slipped twice right there toward the end of the first half. He changed them to these longer cleats. The ones that he was using in the first half were about half this size. Also, the sod at the middle of the field, Dick, has just been replanted. It's brand new, and it's causing quite a few players some problems. Dick?
All right, thanks, Jim. And, of course, the water level, we're below sea level here at this particular site. Some of that sand to try to take up the moisture is the problem as well.
Well, that's what the Steelers told us yesterday. It's the worst field they've ever seen. It's nothing but sand.
O'Donnell to Pegram. Eric Pegram up to the 33-yard line. Eddie Anderson with one of those solid hits of his.
Eric Pegram running well. You know, I asked him yesterday about would he rather run a few more plays inside than outside, and now they are running plays inside, but they're getting excellent blocking. You see the blocking by John L.
Pegram over the 700-yard total mark for the season with his 58 today. Actually 8 more to the 50 you see there. That's his first half. 1 for Harvey Williams. Second and a long 2, and Pegram fumbles, and the Raiders think they have it. No official signal yet. Yes, Raiders ball. Rob Frederickson recovered.
Eric Pegram trying to be tough, run up inside. The one thing you got to remember, a lot of hands in there. You got to put both hands on it. He does. Nolan Harrison coming from the side hits him, knocks the ball out.
Here goes Pegram here. Now we'll see if he gets that other hand on it. He's got one hand on the ball, Phil, and they just reached in underneath. Nolan Harrison knocks the ball away.
Raider defensive line making the big plays today.
At the Pittsburgh 37. with Rocket in motion. Batted in the air, incomplete. Here to be Brenton Buckner that was charging in, along with Joel Steed and Olszewski, 55.
You know, when you look at that, Billy Joe slipping on his field, we'll get to that in a second. Here comes it looks like a blitz with Olszewski, number 55, coming, and he does come on the blitz. Goes up, and Jerry Olszewski, number 55, is the guy that gets his arm up and knocks the ball. Youngstown, Ohio, my hometown.
Well done by Olszewski, subbing for Chad Brown, tied with an ankle injury. Harvey Williams to the 35-yard line, a gain of just 3. It'll be 3rd down and 7. The Raiders have done an excellent job this year of taking full advantage of turnovers. In fact, they are 3rd in the league behind the Niners and the Vikes with 92 points off turnovers. And the Raiders, who often are in the minus column in the turnover table this year, are a +1 and have their touchdown today on a turnover.
Isn't that surprising? Pittsburgh with the best defense are 16th.
That is. 3rd and long. Hobert hit as he throws, complete to Tim Brown. 1st down at the 22. Terrific throw by Hobert, who was leveled by Jason Gilden.
Excellent job by Billy Joe Hobert standing in there. He gets the pressure. You're going to see Jason Gilden. Wow, just puts him aside, stands in there, and still makes the throw to the outside to Tim Brown. And here's the matchup you would like if you're the Oakland Raiders. Tim Brown in the slot against Carnell Lake, who has struggled of late covering the wide receivers.
Tim Brown with 4 catches today, the leader for the Raiders, 77 on the season. Williams spins out of the grasp of 2 Steelers and fights to make a 1-yard gain. Darren Perry brings him down.
You know, I really feel sorry for Harvey Williams. Harvey Williams gets the ball, and just as he gets it, there are 2 white shirts in his face.
Paul, the only runs I've seen today where they can get past the line of scrimmage without getting hit are draw plays, or where they spread it out and the Steelers think it's a pass. Look at that right there. Kevin Green, Brenton Buckner, Ray Seals, everybody trying to get to the ball carrier in the backfield.
2nd down and 9. Just off the mark was Hobert, as Hobbs had beaten the Steelers by 5 yards.
And this was a good throw, too, folks. I mean, he should have caught the ball.
Excellent job by Billy Joe Hobert standing in there. And what happens is it's one of those 2 deep zones, and you see Darren Perry right there got caught inside, and nobody is outside for Darryl Hobbs, not able to make the catch.
I mean, you can see in that replay there, that ball hits him right in the hands.
This is an offense that's really struggled to score touchdowns. You get those opportunities only a couple times a game, and you have to take advantage of them.
Here comes the blitz. They pick it up. And Hobert being chased from behind. Throws incomplete to Tim Brown. 2 potential touchdowns through the hands of receivers.
Did you see with Harvey Williams blocks on Darren Perry, number 39? Harvey Williams gets him up in the air. Watch this. Harvey Williams, here goes Perry to the inside. Watch what Harvey does. He's got him up in the air, and he's going to throw him down, slam down, and pin him.
And then Greg Lloyd from behind as Hobert delivers, and Brown doesn't drop many of these.
Tim Brown does a good job of reacting off the scramble. Billy Joe Hobert, and a sure hand receiver lets a touchdown get away from him right there.
39-yard field goal attempt then is the answer for Jeff Jager, and he hits it through cleanly.
39-yard field goal.
Flirting with 7. The Raiders on 2 occasions settle for 3. 20-10 Pittsburgh. Day of the San Francisco Bay Area. Welcome back to Oakland. Tim Brown and Darryl Hobbs with touchdown catches in their midst. Could not pull them in. Short kick. And racing up is Ernie Mills, one of the stars for the Steelers today, tackled at the 31-yard line. Let's go back to the 2 misses.
All right, first of all, Phil, I don't care how much experience you have as a quarterback. This guy threw that ball twice perfectly.
2 excellent throws. They come in the game today and watch the second drop. You see, good job of waiting to the last second. Gets hit right there by Kevin Green and puts it right on the money to Tim Brown. But the Raiders come in today thinking their third-string quarterback, Billy Joe Hobart, is going to hold them back. And he's been the plus. If they're going to win this game, I think they're going to win on the arm of their quarterback, Billy Joe.
Both Tim Brown and Rocket Ismail firing the helmets to the ground. Steelers by 10. O'Donnell down the field. Caught. Ernie Mills, and now they say incomplete. He was juggling, did not have control. Eddie Anderson with a hit. That's a tough chance for Mills.
Excellent job by Eddie Anderson, reading the quarterback's eyes the whole way. Here comes Ernie Mills coming across the whole field on a play-action pass. Eddie Anderson's the free safety. Look at him. He sees the ball all the way, hits the receiver just as the ball gets there. That's why he can't hold on.
Well, when you look at Mills, now watch it. He's trying to pull it down, and he never really has control of the ball. And you see the ball come out. This is an excellent call by the official.
Eddie Anderson, who played at Fort Valley State, his teammate was Greg Lloyd of the Steelers. Blitz, and Pegram to the 40 and close to a first down as Anderson logs another tackle on a 9-yard gain.
Here's what happens when you're going after the quarterback and you think they're passing. You run right by the guy that's running the draw, which is Pegram. Watch the black shirts as they go by Pegram. Here they come. The blitz is on. They go by. Pegram's to the outside. A little bit of holding by Strelzek, but not a whole lot.
Nobody even blocked Pat Swilling. Let him come upfield, run underneath him.
Third down, a long yard. And O'Donnell set out as a flanker, and then it's Stewart on the sneak. And it appears he has the first down easily before Rob Fredrickson can make the tackle.
I like this ploy that the Steelers use in these type of situations. Cordell, a better runner, the better athlete, bring him in, let him run the quarterback sneak, even though you might think it's coming, to protect Neil O'Donnell just in case, so he doesn't get hurt.
Well, the other thing about this now, when you see Cordell Stewart going at quarterback, and he can do that, and Neil O'Donnell can go off the field, there's a reason for it, folks, because he's part of the 45-man roster. Now, if he were the third quarterback, which would have been a 46 guy, he couldn't do that. But since he is part of the roster, he can play any position he wants.
O'Donnell back under center Dawson. Progress delayed on a solid hit by Chester McLaughlin. Jim?
Dick Bam Morris pulled his hamstring in the second quarter so severely he will not return today. They will evaluate it for next week after the game. Dick?
All right, Jim, thank you. And as this season wears on, the casualties begin to mount.
Well, you know, Pegram told us yesterday, he says, you know, if you take a look at all the backs, they get most of their yardage in the second half. They get like 20, 30 yards in the first half, but they get 100 in the second. He said, I would like to be able to run the ball more. Now you're going to get the opportunity.
And Morris had 102 last week against Houston. Ooh, juggles the snap, throws down the middle, wide open Mills. First down at the 33 of the Raiders.
Did you see where this ball is thrown now, Phil? To the inside where Mills can get his body away from the defender. This is a perfect throw and also a perfect route.
Well, the Raiders again on the blitz. Good job by Neil O'Donnell just regaining possession of the football, but he hangs in there and he throws it inside. It's man coverage. Terry McDaniel on the outside. Ernie Mills, watch him here at the end of the play. Here's why you make the reception down the field. Keeps himself between the defender and the ball.
Against a tough defender, Terry McDaniel, his fourth catch, 87 yards and 2 touchdowns for Mills. Pegram wiggling his way inside the 30-yard line.
Let's go back just to that play, because this has been your pet peeve all year long. We saw it against Deion Sanders when the Kansas City Chiefs tried to throw the ball straight up the field to let him get a run at the ball. Here, looking at the Pittsburgh Steelers, they throw a lot of that inside stuff that makes the receiver, gives him the opportunity to catch the ball, and the defender have no chance.
That's right. The defender would have to run through him, commit the foul to get to the football.
38-year-old Bill Cowher watches his Steelers lead 20-10. Second down, it's a long 5. Complete to Thigpen, and he has a first down at the 14. Biekert ran him out.
You know, you look at Thigpen, you talk about awareness on the field. Thigpen is running directly at the sideline, full speed. When Neil O'Donnell throws his pass, he's coming across the middle. You watch him, and watch how he gets heads up, catches the ball. Watch a turn, upfield now. Now I'll get positive yardage, which is another 4.
You get rewarded for hustle in this game, and Yancey Thigpen was hustling, gets all the way across the field, gets rewarded.
Outstanding point.
Pride and joy of Pine Tops, North Carolina, having a sensational year. 74 catches for him. Down the middle, incomplete to the tight end, Mark Bruner. Covered by Dan Land. Bruner wanted a penalty.
Man, he's learning as a rookie, isn't he?
Yeah.
Hey, where's the flag?
It doesn't help. They're not going to throw it.
You know, when you see a guy, when I see a quarterback like Neil O'Donnell, I'll get to that in a second. Here comes Bruner.
Well, good job here. Neil O'Donnell throws it in the inside, but Dan Land, excellent coverage. Gets his hand in front of the receiver. Mark Bruner, he's not able to make the catch.
But I'm saying O'Donnell goes back in the huddle. He starts laughing, you know. Look at this. That's a good coverage. But he starts laughing like, I know I can beat you.
Cordell Stewart, and he's the slot right in motion now. Just the 3 wide. Give to Pegram. Big hole. And Pegram to the 5-yard line. Close to a first down. Andre Bruce, a touchdown maker on the 1-yard interception in the first half, makes the tackle.
Well, this is a play we see every week when we do the Steelers run. It's a real slow draw, and what they're doing, they let the defensive lineman to the side of the draw run up the field, and they just take them wherever they want to go. Eric Pegram does an excellent job. Once the defensive lineman come up, if he wants to go to the outside, push him right there. Don't even have to block Anthony Smith right there.
Do you know who made a great block? Is Tom Newberry, the guard, the left guard, number 66. And we can see that same play from there again. He slips off of one man and then goes to the linebacker and makes the play.
First and goal at the 5-yard line. Newberry, the former Ram.
Watch this guy sitting right over here. That's Newberry, the guard. Now watch, he blocks there. Now watch him slip back on the linebacker. Keep an eye on where he is. Look at this block. Back to the inside. Newberry, what a sensational block.
Very nice.
Here's Newberry, father of twin sons out of Wisconsin lacrosse. What a pretty big game themselves yesterday. First and goal, Pegram. Caught and dropped for a loss by Chester McLaughlin. Well, the Raiders are tough inside the 20-yard line. One of the toughest in the league, second only to San Francisco in touchdowns allowed once invaded the 20. Pittsburgh 28th inside the 20. That's stunning.
The Raider defense so good and so hard to score against inside the 20 because they stopped the run.
O'Donnell gets out of that mess. Chased by Harrison. And out of bounds at the 9. Third and goal.
Blistering speed.
You can identify with that, can't you, Phil?
Yes, I can. Unfortunately, yes. That makes you stand in the pocket, though, when you can't run and you make some throws that you otherwise couldn't do.
That's right.
So
that's a good point.
There's always a plus to it. But one thing Neil O'Donnell did there that's really important for a young quarterback or anybody to watch, he was under pressure, and the thing he did, the defensive linemen are slapping at the ball, but he had both hands on it, and he didn't fumble because of that.
Right into the teeth of that crowd down on the far end zone. Third and goal, just outside the 5. Is that caught at the 1-yard line by Thigpen. They have not signaled touchdown. They mark it right on the 1-foot line.
They got holding anyway. They got holding against Pittsburgh, but that ball should have been a touchdown. Arm should have flared up in the air because he fell down. Nobody touches him, and he sticks the ball over the goal line.
68 offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat. Third down.
Brandon Stye.
Brendan Stye, they call him for holding the right guard right here, watching for the Steelers. Oh, he gets beat right off the line of scrimmage, and it's a good hold. He gets both hands around the left arm of Andre Bruce.
Good hold, huh?
It's a good one, yes.
Mark it back out to the 15-yard line. That's the first Pittsburgh penalty today. 5 wide. Complete. Andre Hastings. Good coverage from veteran Albert Lewis. Andre Bruce applies the pressure and force the Steelers into a field goal.
The Raiders did a smart thing right there when the Pittsburgh comes in with his 5 wide receivers. They're moving Albert Lewis inside exactly for the reason, just for that play. The inside receiver going up the field. He has the speed to run with them and keep them from making those big plays.
32-yard attempt for Norm Johnson, who has connected from 42 and 35 yards today. And Norm Johnson, another dividend from the veteran acquired at the start of the season. 23-10. Here's that last play.
Well, here's Albert Lewis on the inside. Andres Hastings is going to go right up the middle. Watch the safety split. Albert Lewis usually plays to the outside, but the Steelers have been killing everybody with this type of play. The inside receiver going up through the middle. Good plan by the defensive secondary or the defensive coaches of the Raiders.
But the Steelers used up 6 minutes 21 seconds to get their field goal. The Raiders took a little over 2 minutes, and one of the strengths of the Pittsburgh team, they lead the NFL in possession time. That helps the defense to be good. They're not on the field as much. And there's for the Raiders, if you look at the numbers and then carry over any meaning at all, 20 points is the key for the Raiders. When they allow 20 or more, as they have today, they have not won a game. But they're 8-1 under 20, and I guess you could probably use that stat to.
Well, the Raiders have such, well, you probably could, but the Raiders, they have good players at the skilled position. On defense, they can make plays. If they get you in known situations, that's how they can blow you out or put you away.
Norm Johnson down to Napoleon Kaufman at the 10. And tackled at the 20. Lethan Flowers, another special teams hit, and we have a timeout. Ill winds. Boy, that's for California. This is some weather coming in. You know, there's no pity coming from the east, that's for sure. They dig their way out of a first real serious snowstorm of the winter. The Raiders start from their 20. Billy Joe Hobert. Short pass, and Greg Lloyd was all over the receiver. Harvey Williams to New York.
All right, Dick, at Mile High Stadium in Denver, big play by the Seattle Seahawks with the Broncos threatening Robert Blackman. The hit on Elway. Antonio Edwards scoops up the fumble and goes 83 yards untouched with the extra point. The Seahawks pull to within 10. It's Denver 20, Seattle 10. Dick?
Looking for a shot at a wild card. They're alive. Harvey Williams. He's been tormented all day and finally rips off a good game. First down out to the 38-yard line. 14 yards before Kirkland can make the stop.
The guy that could have made the tackle was Lloyd, number 95. To the right of your screen, watch Lloyd, 95. He gets through 2 blocks and almost gets Harvey Williams. But when he gets to the outside, that's a nice move.
Rocket Ismail helping out downfield. Harvey Williams about 50 yards away from the 1,000-yard mark. Osowski on the blitz, and Hobert guns incomplete to Tim Brown. Looked as if that might have been deflected. We talked about the cleats, and Jim Gray said he's using deeper cleats for footing. Let's go back and analyze how he sets up, Phil.
Well, it was a big play in the first half when Billy Joe Hobert slips and falls and throws the interception. But watch right here. You're going to see him lean forward before he plants. Look at this angle right here, and it's on the left foot, the outside. Instead, it should be on the inside of the right foot. So he's leaning forward, trying to stop himself with the wrong foot. That's why he slipped.
Toss to Williams. Tries to cut it upfield and makes a couple to the 40. Kirkland, the unsung hero of the Steeler defense. 99 Levon Kirkland makes the hit.
Billy Joe, and there's another reason why he slips too, Phil, is because of the tape underneath his foot. Here he comes underneath the center, and he's limping. I mean, he hurt his back. We saw him working on his back earlier. But the reason I thought he slipped too was, you see that tape on the side? When you're planting on the side of your foot, there is nothing but tape, and it slides. Of course, this field's all sand also.
3rd down and 8. Throws up his back foot, complete to Hobbs, but a flag is down back where Hobert delivered.
And the Pittsburgh Steelers, their defensive line says offensive holding. And Billy Joe is holding that hand again.
15 yards wiped out by the penalty. So he's limping, bad back. He's been holding that hand since he hit the
Holding.
Buckner.
77 offense, 10-yard penalty. Repeat third down.
Rich Stevens guilty of the hold.
Rich Stevens on the hold. You'll see him right here, the left tackle going against Ray Seals. Steps to the inside. Billy Joe Holbert, his hands hurting, his back hurting. Welcome to the NFL.
I bet he wishes he's sitting around eating donuts, don't you think?
No, he likes the action. It's better to be in there.
Instead of a first down in Steeler territory with less than 3 minutes left in the third, Holbert looks at third down and 18. Just gets that one away and throws it into an open space. He had Rocket Ismail 60 yards downfield, but he didn't have time to find him.
Jason Gildon again working against Rich Stevens, the left tackle, who really is the third, at one time was the third string tackle for the Oakland Raiders, and does a good job of slapping him, forcing him, and makes him step up. And Ray Seals again makes the hit on the quarterback.
Well, they're dealing all over that line, and they're not thinking about anything but getting to the quarterback. And when you just do that, you can't sit back there that long.
Fourth down, so Gossett into punt. Andre Hastings back at the 30 of Pittsburgh. This one's returnable. Boy, the wind really took that one. And Hastings finally down at the 35-yard line. 2:37 remaining in the third quarter. I knew you were open. Deep touchdown. Yeah, I know. I just didn't have time.
The eyes tell it all.
Well, he was open for a touchdown, but Billy Joe would have to tell the offensive line to block for about 10 seconds because it just took too long for the play to develop.
Meanwhile, Jeff Hostetler, that left shoulder injury aggravated in the Dallas game, and without him, the Raiders have lost 3 in a row and are down by 10 here late in the third quarter today.
Had a chance to spend a little time with him on Friday, so after this play, I'll tell you about it.
I can't wait to hear it.
First down, Steelers at the 35, and offside Austin Robbins. Was he encouraged by the Steeler offensive line?
I like that, Dick. Encouraged.
Defense, offside, number 95, unabated to the quarterback. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
5 yards to the 40. Well, this next graphic, no surprise. The last 5 years, the Raiders leading the NFL in most penalty yards, averaging 8 penalties a game, and that's right where they are again this year. That was their 6th today, as you can see, 40 yards. First and 5, and Ingram for a yard. Bill Cowher, as we talked with him, and this is, I guess, the 4th time we've seen his team since back in the summer. How would you like to have played for him, Phil?
Well, I think he's what every player would like. He's tough, but also he's honest with the players. And the thing I like about him, he says he never singles out a player for something they did wrong. And he sits in front of the team and explains all of his decisions, so they always know where they stand, what has happened, and the reason why he's making decisions. And I think it's one of the reasons why he's having such great success.
How it relates to the entire team. On second down, the quick hitter almost intercepted by the Raiders as Ernie Mills couldn't find the handle.
Well, he got caught in between Binkert and Fredrickson, the 2 linebackers, and that's not a place to be. That's not a piece of real estate that you want when you go down through the middle here. Watch it. Here comes Mills. Watch who ends up there. There's 53, Fredrickson, and here comes 54, Binkert. You don't want to be there.
Mike White looking for that interception, trailing 20-10. Cordell Stewart comes into the huddle for Pittsburgh, and in the 4 wide with John L. Williams. Stewart far left and in motion. And blocks on that play, and John L. Williams didn't fool Mustafa. And Najee Mustafa makes the tackle right at the sticks at the 45. So Stewart, we've seen him as a passer, a runner, a receiver. Now Cordell Stewart / the blocker.
Oh, it's a good block. Watch Cordell. He comes down in motion and knows he's got a block, and he blocks a linebacker. Well, I'm sorry.
He got in the way.
Wait, hold it. Can you do that again? Let me talk about Cordell one more time. Let's run that one more time, please.
This is kind of that nobody's perfect play.
Yeah, okay, here comes Cordell down. Now he's supposed to block the linebacker. And Cordell sits in there and gets in his way and then gets out of his way. That was a nice block, Cordell.
It's 4th down on the measurement, 4th and inches for Pittsburgh. And they're not going to gamble with a 10-point lead. Bill Cowher sends the punting unit on. Tim Brown, meanwhile, back at the 15 for the Raiders. And with the winds that you saw whipping the trees at the edge of the stadium, these high punts are tricky at best. Especially the left-footed punter. Dying spiral. Brown. Third catch at the 17-yard line with 1:15 left in the third period. Station, you can fill it up with Cowher power, high-octane stuff. Yeah. The record of Cowher getting into the playoffs, his first 4 years, 4 playoffs, only 3 other coaches in history have done that. Paul Brown, Chuck Knox, and John Robinson with the Rams, and now Cowher, 4 years, first 4 times playoffs.
You know, we were talking to him the other day about the 12 men on the field last week, and he didn't want to yell at the guy that was on the field. We won't even have to mention him, so he took it out on Bobby April, the coach.
Raiders need to get to work. They trail 20-10, 23-10. As Hobert throws to the sidelines. Tim Brown, first down, 31-yard line. 14 on the play.
We can see the effects of the injuries to Billy Joe Hobert's hand, and his back's hurting him, and the wind. Watch the ball as he sits up here, no pressure, able to step into it, and look at the ball just dying on him right here. It's a good thing Tim Brown was wide open.
I got to think it's more of his hand than it was the wind, Phil, because when that ball first came out, it was wobbling right at the beginning.
5th catch for Tim Brown, the Raider leader. To the 35-yard line, a pickup of 4. Bill Johnson, the former Brown, and Kevin Green on the tackle.
I'll tell you one thing, if something happens to Billy Joe, I don't know if these people will accept Vince Evans as the backup quarterback coming in after the last 2 performances.
There's Vince, the 40-year-old quarterback. 2 rough games for him. And Jeff Hostetler, the 3rd quarterback.
Expected to play next week, at least that's what he said. He expects to be healthy enough to get back in and play against Seattle.
Down the field deep and too long, intercepted by Myron Bell, and then covered by Kerry Cash. So the Steelers' 2nd interception. Has Hobert too much adrenaline on that throw.
Well, it's the 2nd time we've seen it. The tight end, he's trying to go to him. The first time, it was Glover in the first half, and he stopped short. And this one here, he's trying to get it to Cash down the middle.
Well, it's a 2-deep zone coverage. You see there's no safeties in the middle, but this ball just gets away from Billy Joe Hobert. It takes off. It's high right from the start, and an excellent catch by Myron Bell, the free safety.
2nd-year man from Michigan State has his 2nd interception. Wind might have helped that one fly as well. Tough to be a backup and succeed, and we'll get to Neil O'Donnell. He even talked about his first NFL start. Some of you folks will remember well the occasion as Pegram takes it out about 3 or 4 yards. O'Donnell came in relief on a Monday night and beat your Giants, Phil Simms. Remember, 23-20, made his first NFL start the next week at Seattle. He scored 7, they got 27. Right. It's tough. We'll be back after these messages from your local station. Oh, with the interception. The good news, bad news about any season is you lose a great player, Woodson, and you find another Myron Bell. He is, in his 2nd season, has really produced for Pittsburgh. Steelers trying to win today, knowing Buffalo has won and are now 9-5. The Steelers need a win to stay a game ahead of Buffalo as they look ahead to home field advantage in the ensuing playoffs.
You know, you talk about Woodson, they got good news from the doctor. He can start running again, but he did some extra running on his own. He may have hurt it again. They've got to take another look at him.
Pittsburgh's ball, 2nd down and 6 as we open the 4th quarter at their own 37. Pegram caught in the backfield by Anthony Smith. Anthony Smith with a big game today, the 6-year veteran from Arizona. Yesterday at practice, we were watching as was Bill Cowher, as Rod just some easy jogging.
At this point, he was running right towards me and Paul, and Greg Lloyd is standing next to us, Paul. And everybody's talking, can he come back to go to the playoffs? But what did Greg Lloyd tell you?
He said, I just hope to God he doesn't. He said, I had the same injury twice. He said, it took me a whole year to get back. And I also asked Cowher, would he be back? He said, he's got to do an awful lot of convincing to me before I'm going to put him on the field this year.
They want to risk ending his career. Cordell stored in the 4 wide, 3rd down 8. Incomplete to Yancey Thigpen. He was held by Najee Mustafa.
Boy, I'll tell you what great pickup by the offensive line, and John L. Williams stepping up and making a block. They've been doing this all game.
Watch John L. Williams come from the left of the offense. It's going to pick up the blitzer. Eddie Anderson comes across right there. Look at that protection by the Steeler line right there. And John L. Williams gives Neil O'Donnell a good lane to throw the ball. Watch Najee Mustafa right here, holding right there. And then as the ball comes in the way, definitely a penalty. Yancey Thigpen, you are right.
Yancey, just show him your shirt. His fingerprints are all over it.
10 yards on the penalty to the 45-yard line.
Again, just a pickup by the Steelers against the blitz gives Neil O'Donnell time, and it's hard to cover receivers down the field with no help.
The sidelines and complete. You see that ball dive when it's thrown to the right side, and the papers on the field are blowing left to right into the face of the Steelers in the 4th quarter.
Watch Neil O'Donnell. The one thing is, he is used to throwing in rough conditions and a little wind. He's going to step right at you, and look at that ball nosedive right down. One thing about the wind as a quarterback, you must keep the nose of the ball up. Once it goes down, it's going to dive right into the ground.
Well, this puts them in a situation now where they can run the football at 2nd down and 4.
Pegram loses 2. Back to the 49. Mike Jones, leading tackler for the Raiders this year. The 5th-year backer from Missouri makes the stop.
The Raiders crowding the line of scrimmage, getting everybody up there, playing for the run, getting the extra defenders up there to stop it.
We haven't seen Cordell on any options.
See, Eric Pegram 11 yards shy of 100 today, and the Raiders total 29 yards rushing. Here's the 5 wide, the full 5. Stored as the slot to the right. Underneath, complete. Andre Hastings, and Hastings spins to the 25-yard line.
Well, what happens here, here's what the Raiders try to do, Phil. They try to blitz this. 5 wide, they send a safety, and they get caught.
Well, that's right, Paul. They do blitz, and what happens is 3rd and 5 or less. Look up top here. You're going to see the blitzer come, but he can't get there quick enough because it's short yardage or 5 yards or less. Steelers can get rid of the ball quick.
Now that's the argument one might say against the 5 wide. Aren't you exposing your quarterback to the blitz? You can see what happens on the quick throw.
And you see all the way across the line, there's one-on-one coverage on every one of them. He just picks the guy to the inside.
Leading 23-10. And the Raiders can ill afford to even give up a field goal for more than 2 touchdowns down as Pegram gets to the 20-yard line, nearly a 5-yard gain before Anderson makes another tackle.
All right, Phil, this is what we're talking about when you're talking about the 5 wide. Here you got 1, 2, 3, and these are all man coverage here on the guys on the bottom, and the same thing will happen on the top. Watch when they all come off. Each guy has one guy, so you just pick the guy to the inside, the closest one to you, and you throw to him. Very simple. Everybody should use this.
Yeah.
There he is, Fargo.
Ron Earhart doing an excellent job. Again, adjusting to the team this year, just like Bill Cowher, having trouble running the ball early in the year. They open it up, and they're having great success throwing it.
3 seconds on the play clock. 2. This gets it off to Pegram. Pegram working his way for a 1st down and more to the 11-yard line. Let's check on other action in the NFL. To New York. Greg?
All right, Dick, at Mile High Stadium, the Seattle Seahawks continue to make noise. They've won 4 of their last 5. They turn a John Elway interception into a Chris Warren 24-yard touchdown. The Seahawks have moved to within 3. It's 20-17. Plenty of time left in Denver, Dick.
Well, Denver 7-6 and Seattle 6-7 coming in. And didn't Seattle beat Denver early in the year, so that would give them the edge on Denver should they rally. Here it's 23-10 Pittsburgh, and the Steelers with a first down at the Raider 12-yard line. Pegram again. Oh, he is a nifty runner. 6 yards in the play, just picking his spots. He's shifty. Bam Morris is the power guy, and Pegram, they found him when they were 3-4. Remember, they used him so effectively. Actually, it was in the 5th game of the year against the San Diego Chargers that he emerged. 109 yards for Eric Pegram today.
The one thing about it, though, is this offensive line, they are holding their blocks longer. When you see a back dance like Eric Pegram did there, and he has time to find a hole, the offensive line, they're sustaining their blocks.
Good point.
One thing the Steelers have done almost every week, late in the game, they run the ball extremely well.
2nd and 4. Lifts himself out of the initial attempt at a tackle. Then Andre Bruce brings him down 2 yards on the play to the 4-yard line.
That's where they should bring old Cornell in and run that option play down the line that they did with Pegram that last time they did for a 2-point play in one of the games, and it worked.
See, you saw Bill Cowher, his good friend, coaching friend is Marty Schottenheimer. Just happens to be that they call every week. Yeah. And since Kansas City was here last week, do you think they might have called this?
Well, Bill Cowher said they talked, but he says, I don't know if Marty was telling me the truth or not, because they're fighting for that same home field advantage.
That's right. That's right.
Chester, did he get pulled off? Now they can get a first down here at the 1-yard line. They've got to get right at the 1, but this will only be a half the distance deal.
You know, we talked earlier about a quarterback.
Encroachment on the defense. Number 91. Half the distance to the goal. Still 3rd down.
We talked about a quarterback managing the game, and right here in this drive is a great example, keeping the 3rd down situation short, running the clock down to the last second, and right there, an offside penalty now gives them an opportunity just to run the ball in there, get the first down, eat up more clock.
And the team that's held the ball better than any in the league, and this is another 6-minute drive. Under 9 to play in the 4th. Loses a half yard. So the field goal unit be about an extra point try as McLaughlin and Anderson make the tackle. Field goal to make it 26-10, which would require 2 touchdowns and 2 2-point conversions for the Raiders to tie.
This is, I mean, there really is a no-brainer. And Cowher just kept saying, kick it, kick it. And that's what the head coach does. He lets the defensive coordinator do some coordinating, offensive coordinator do some coordinating. And when it comes to making a decision like this is what he does.
It's good to be coordinated.
I love to be coordinating the coordinator.
20-yard attempt for Johnson for his 4th field goal in 4 tries today. 42, then 35, 32, and 20-yard field goals. It's the battle to the BART for a lot of fans here in Oakland as the Steelers, 26-10, convincing long drives for the Steelers. They chewed up a lot of time. Napoleon Kaufman cut down at the 26-yard line by Dante Jones, who leads the Steelers in special team tackles. Timeout. Pittsburgh, as we've been mentioning, so effective in running out the clock, using it up, and we'll do the math for you. Almost 12 more minutes the Steelers have had the ball than the Raiders today. That says a couple things. One, for the defense, means the other team doesn't have enough to score on you, and Pittsburgh, in terms of yardage, least yards allowed on defense of any NFL team. Holbert's going to scramble for the first time today. He was beyond the line of scrimmage when he threw the ball, and a flag is dropped.
Well, he was actually about 3 to 4 yards beyond the line of scrimmage. But you know what I really liked after he threw it? He tried to get back.
The time permitting, we understand that as we listen to the call.
Illegal forward pass on number 9 of the offensive team. 5-yard penalty. Loss of down.
The Seattle-Denver game at Mile High Stadium. As time permits, we will take you after the conclusion of this game to the capital city of Colorado for that action.
Now the Oakland Raiders are getting up to their average of 9 penalties, 57 yards. Pittsburgh, 1 penalty in this ball game. 1.
24. If you're a Raider fan, that's kind of hard to believe, isn't it? Any team to only have 1 penalty.
They can't relate to it. That's right.
Underneath to Harvey Williams, and Greg Lloyd makes another tackle for the Steelers as we go to New York for this NFL update.
All right, Dick, John Elway has gotten a touchdown back for the Broncos from a yard out. He dives in 27-17. The story in this game, Glenn Milburn of the Broncos just 6 yards shy of the all-time record for total yards in a game, time permitting. You folks will see the end of this one. Let's go back to Dick.
Glenn Milburn going for 400-yard day. He must have returned some kicks, huh? Meanwhile, only 7 minutes left here in Oakland. As Hobart guns it, intercepted. Willie Williams on the deflection off Tim Brown. And Williams, who has 1 interception for a touchdown this year, is caught at the 17-yard line by Hobart. 26 on the return, the 3rd pick by the Steelers. Williams 5th of the year to lead this team.
Excellent job by the Steelers. Watch Chris Odom right to your right inside, dropping back into the zone. Really no place to throw the football. Billy Joe Hobart trying to stick it in to Darryl Hobbs. Willie Williams having an excellent year, doing a good job seeing the ball deflected, getting to it, and intercepting it.
Phil, was that Lloyd getting a piece of the ball?
I thought it was Chris Oldham, but maybe
Lloyd, number 95, was back there, and I don't know if he got a piece of the ball or not. We talked to this young man yesterday. Williams, what a nice young man he is.
Columbia, South Carolina, what a high school team. Lethan Flowers, who's on the Steelers defensive backfield, and Tyrone Leggett in New Orleans, all on the same team. The Steelers a chance to ice the cake now as Pegram swings outside. And there's Pegram out of bounds inside the 5-yard line.
You know what I really liked about Willie Williams? Is the thing about Willie Williams, we asked him, we said, Willie, how tall are you? He's 5'9". You know, a lot of guys when they're 5'9", they say, yeah, I'm 5'9 1/4, 5'9 1/2. I'm almost 5'10". But he said, no, I'm 5'9". That's all I've ever been. I'm 5'9".
He said, in fact, none of the big schools, like University of South Carolina, right there in Columbia, didn't recruit him because he wasn't big enough.
Not big enough, yeah. And he goes, well, like now, like you say, Paul, he should go back in over to South Carolina and walk through and say, here I am in the NFL. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I would.
First and goal. Handoff inside to Pegram, and what a pickup. We've mentioned it before. Oh, man, it's Fred McAfee getting the call. Only his 10th carry of the year. McAfee, the former New Orleans Saint.
Everybody talking about Eric Pegram. Dick, just the play before, everything is inside. The play was designed to go inside. The Raiders do a good job of stopping it. What's he do? He stops, kicked it outside, gets a big first down for him, and he was right. He said the game, and today he has proven that out. He has been exceptional as the game has gone on.
Grew up in Dallas, where he was a Tony Dorsett fan. 2nd and goal. McAfee twisting away, but slowed up and up by Anthony Smith, and then help arrived Eddie Anderson and Dan Land. It'll be 3rd and goal. We started to say Pegram, with all the free agent moves during the offseason, this one kind of went unnoticed. It's just an acquisition of a running back. What would he do? He has been a key factor in this 7-game, if they win today, 7-game winning streak.
I think he's one of the big reasons. He had tremendous success coming in and running, and I think that's one of the reasons why Bam Morris in the last 3 or 4 weeks has come on and been so successful, because he wanted to get in on the action.
Boy, and when you talk to him, he says, you know, we got Bam in the second half. Bam's good, and you know,
Bam is good.
Bam contributes, and these guys, what a combination.
And time taken at the 4:45 mark. Bill Cowher Steelers in control. 3rd and goal at the 3, and when you look back the last 3 games, they didn't score a touchdown in losing at San Diego. They didn't score a touchdown until late last week in the 4th quarter when Hobart came in, and they haven't scored an offensive touchdown today, and they need Hostetler. Greg Lloyd again has led that Steeler defense.
Now, you were talking about Hostetler about an hour ago. What did he say to you?
Well, I forgot. But I had a chance to talk to him. So he's sitting there. He's in the weight room. And I said, Jeff, show me where your shoulder hurts. And he pointed about 8 different spots where it hurt. And I said, what is exactly wrong with it? He goes, well, and he wouldn't tell me. So
you don't know?
No, I really don't know exactly what's wrong. I think it's a little more serious than we all think, and it'll have to be taken care of when the season's over.
They stuffed Fred McAfee on 3rd down, so Norm Johnson will have a chance for a handful. He goes in for a short field goal. It would be 5 for 5 today. Pittsburgh record, by the way, excuse me, Paul, is 6. Gary Anderson holds that mark 7 years ago against Denver.
What's nice about it, they could take this whole full complement of time here and run this clock inside of 4 minutes. And man, I'll tell you, they have just chewed up the clock and scored field goals by doing it.
We'll be switching many of you to that Denver game, but those of you here in the Bay Area and in Pittsburgh will stay right here. So after the commercial ensuing, switching our network, Johnson does make it 5-4-5, and the Steelers move up 29-10.
The Seahawks continues. John Freeze pass tipped and caught by Joey Galloway. 5-yard touchdown. The Broncos lead 27-24. Though many of you who have been watching the Raiders and the Steelers will now switch you for the conclusion of Seattle and Denver. Here are Jim Lampley and Bob Golick.
And welcome back to Oakland, where the Steelers in a seemingly insurmountable position, 27-10, and Eric Pegram in the congratulatory mood.
Good move. Well, when I see him, I'm going to say, you are the smartest man on that team. You're going to every offensive lineman. Thank you. Thank you. You'll have dinner on me this week. Thank you.
Doesn't even have to launder his uniform. Johnson's kick once again to Kaufman, and Napoleon, Nip his nickname, breaks into the clear. One man to beat. Catch it by his heels. Dante Jones, and Kaufman was gone just by the heels. Denies the touchdown return.
Well, the kicker is the guy that really helps out here. He makes Kaufman change a gear. When Kaufman gets through, watch who's upfield. You're going to see right here. He made him. That's the kicker. Norm Johnson. He makes him change gears. When he changes gears,
gave Dante Jones a chance to nip him.
Yeah, Dante Jones keeps hustling, and he is one of the faster defenders on the Pittsburgh team. That's why he's on the special teams, and he's a rookie.
Holbert goes to work, slips again as he sets up, throws down the middle, almost intercepted by Carnell Lake, intended for Tim Brown.
Boy, I'll tell you what, Carnell Lake ran a better pattern than Brown did because he was the guy that was open. Carnell Lake, you know, everybody, the games that we've done before have tested him out on the corner. Well, the reason why Oakland hasn't, they haven't had time to test him.
Well, that, and I think we talked about it during one of the commercial breaks. The Steelers now playing a little more conservative defense, helping out their corners and with the safeties, and you're not able to pick on Carnell Lake out there as much as they were before.
Complete to James Jett. It'll be 3rd and 10. Well, the first start for some rather famous NFL quarterbacks. Troy Aikman, a couple intercepts his first. Elway, 14 yards. Favre, he did all right. 210 and 2 touchdowns. Kelly had a good start, 3 touchdowns.
Great day.
Marino, no surprise there.
Always showing off.
Steve Young.
Where's Phil Simms?
I don't remember. We didn't get back to ancient history.
I don't think he ever had a first start.
I'll tell you about my first start here after this play.
We were open. 3:33, and they throw to Kerry Cash. Out of bounds at the 32, where it'll be 4th down fairly long. How did you do?
Well, I had the same thing as Billy Joe Hobart had almost. The week before, I came in and relieved and really had a good game and was happy. I said, this is pretty easy stuff. And then the following week, there you see Billy Joe's statistics. I was a smooth 6 for 12 for 47 yards for the whole game. So it was rough, and really all the bad thoughts that I had during the week really came to fruition in the game. I just couldn't let it go. I played tight, and it's hard making your first start in this league.
Smooth 6 for 12. Huh?
Smooth 6 for 12.
4th and 6 down the field. Bounds is Ismail. They're going to call that pushed out of bounds. bounds. That is some push.
Wow.
He landed 10 yards out of bounds.
Well, they call that a gift, and that's what it looked like.
It's a little late giving somebody something. Watch this. The Rocket, there is no way that he can come inbounds. Watch this. He's up in the air. He's out of bounds.
Knocked out by Myron Bell, and the call is that he would have come down inbounds had it not been for the contact.
But it was a good throw by Billy Joe Hobart right there, showing again his arm strength and the fact that in the future, I think this guy can play in this league. It's just going to take some time.
Yeah, a lot of things to like about him. He shows natural leadership qualities, no question about his enthusiasm, nor his arm strength as he goes underneath to Harvey Williams. In fact, they said last week when he came in, got 2 touchdowns in the 4th quarter, got close to Kansas City, that he was crying in the locker room, said he just didn't have enough time. He could have won the game.
Yeah. Well, he went right up to the coach and said, look, if we get that onside kick, we'll win this football game. And he means it. The guy is really intense.
Second down to Williams. Caught at the 3-yard line. Saving the touchdown was Carnell Lake.
But they kept talking about before today's game, emotion. They didn't want him to get too emotional, worked up, and I disagree. I think this is the greatest attribute he has right now as a quarterback. He is emotional. This team needs a spark.
2:51 left. Al Davis and the Raiders drafted him in the 3rd round, and Al's drafted and recruited a lot of great players, including the man on the left of your screen, Paul McGuire.
His prize recruit at the Citadel. And I got to tell you this story. A couple of weeks ago, Al Davis, I'm talking to him, and he's telling me about Paul McGuire recruiting him and everything. And he says he goes and sees your mother, and she says, oh, Paul's at church.
That's right.
So he goes to church to find you, and everybody in church, he says, where's Paul McGuire? And they laugh. They said, I think you'd be better off if you go to the pool hall. That's where he probably is.
I was down there with Billy Joe. I've known him for 40 years. And I'll tell you something, he's been a great friend for a long time.
He's your friend. You have a friend. There's no doubt about that.
Believe me, I'm telling you, I don't care what you need, he will get it.
And if he's your enemy,
you get that baby right, you'll get it.
Yeah, that's right.
1st and goal at the 2. Over. Runs out of room and throws, intercepted by Willie Williams. Trying to throw it away, and Williams has his 2nd today, his 6th of the year. 4th interception thrown by Billy Joe. And that one hurts because he was in 2 yards from a touchdown.
Well, if he throws it out in front of him, then I think it would have been Perry might have intercepted it there at 39.
He's going so fast to his right, he really just can't gather himself enough to throw back across his body, and that's why he throws the interception. Watch him, he's just moving too fast to the sideline, can't get that body squared up, facing the line of scrimmage, not able to throw it in front of Tim Brown.
Jerry Osalski was the man who applied the heat. So 20 for 38, not bad. 160 yards, not so good. And the 4 interceptions will be tough to digest tonight.
Yeah, a little misleading though, Dick. 2 wonderful throws we saw should have been for touchdowns. Could have put this team right back in it, and they could have played a different style of offense and defense down the stretch. And of course, that's the story in this league all the time. Who knows?
And who knows what would have happened had they allowed the touchdown by Anthony Smith on that deflection of 71 yards. The quick whistle saving the Steelers.
Geez, it looked like there for a second he wanted to rip his own head off.
Fred McAfee just running out the clock now. 2:40 left. Looking ahead, a reminder, following our game, it's an NBC special, Lost Civilizations, the Maya. Then it's Mad About You, followed by Hope and Gloria. Then Eddie Murphy comes to NBC with his comedy hit, The Distinguished Gentleman. That's all tonight on NBC. Viewers in the West Coast see these shows at their regularly scheduled times. Mike Tomczak in for Neil O'Donnell with 2:36 showing on the clock, and O'Donnell receiving the congratulations from Bill Cowher. Cowher is
happy
8 years older than his quarterback.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, I'm gonna tell you, when you see these two guys together and they're smiling and talking, I mean, these guys genuinely respect Bill Cowher. And I like when you were talking, Phil, about there's no, I guess, hidden agendas on this football team. You know where you stand, and if you ask a question, you're going to get an answer from this guy.
They're unselfish. I think that's a big key to this team. They've come together, the offense and defense. I always thought last year the defense was a little upset at times because they thought they were doing more of the work. Now they can't say that. The offense is exciting and explosive.
Hand off to McAfee. That's another one. Not to the 30-yard line, close to a first down. Well, as you look at Greg Lloyd, the defensive star of the Steelers, assuming, as one must, that Pittsburgh wins, this would be a look at the playoff picture. Kansas City at Miami tomorrow night. Pittsburgh has already clinched the Central, as Kansas City has the West, with Buffalo a game back, Indianapolis and Oakland then 2 back for the wild card, and Miami almost in a must-win tomorrow night.
Pittsburgh has to keep winning to keep their playoff hopes and that wild card alive, or the week off alive.
2-minute timeout.
That's a 2-minute warning.
These chain gang, they make about $25 a game or something like that, and so they never know when they might get their moment, and if they do, this man's prepared.
Well, you know, this chain gang, this has been in the family since the Oakland Raiders first came here.
Is that right?
Father is doing something else up here, and those are his sons are down there.
That's great.
It's a great seat.
Yeah.
I tell you, to watch a game from that angle.
Better have your shin pads on.
Yeah, as long as you don't get run over. That's right.
So proudly manning the yard marker. 2 to go. Steelers just trying to consume the clock, get a first down. They only 1 timeout left for the Raiders. Time permitting, we'll switch. Those of you who stayed with us here for the concluding minutes of this Raider-Steeler game to Denver for the drama of that game. We understand with the Broncos leading by what, 3, that Seattle had the ball, somebody said.
They're driving. The Raiders only have 1 more timeout. You know, you could tell the game is over when the wives leave.
It's a good sign usually.
Yeah. Look up, my wife's gone. Where's she?
You know, it's really important is you just run out the clock here with Fred McAfee, that when in a game like this, it's important that the whole team, I remember I never got a chance to play much, but it's nice when the guys, the regulars play, come over and include you. See, now here's Lloyd. He got a little scuff on his elbow and a little bit of hemoglobin there on the front of Norm Johnson. Hey, now you're playing, Norm. Good hit.
What's Norm going to do? Say, don't do that, I'll beat you up?
Look at the arms of that guy. I mean, that guy is like a brick.
But he's, you know, he's 226 pounds. There was an article in Pittsburgh this week that said that he went back to Lambert and Ham. There you see the stain. And comparing and asking them their reaction to Greg Lloyd's play. And they were saying, you know, Andy Russell was really such a cerebral guy, and Ham was so great in the open field, and Lambert was the tough guy, and Lloyd is all of those things.
I think, Dick, we've done enough games with the Steelers this year, and we know that. He can do it all. He's overall, he leads the team. He's the ultimate linebacker in the league right now.
Wow, we just heard that Seattle has scored to take the lead, I think, for the first time in the game by 4 at 31-27. 49 seconds remain, and we'll see if Elway can pull out one of his miracles. We'll switch right at the conclusion of this game. Less than a minute to go, and the Raiders are out of timeouts.
Dick, that's bad news for the Raiders, really. Now they got to go up and play, maybe, if Seattle wins, a Seattle team who's still in the playoff hunt. So they're going to get a fired-up team in the Kingdome and probably a sellout. So it'll be tough for them next week up there, even if Jeff Hostetler does come back.
Raiders are at Seattle and then home on Christmas Eve day to Denver.
Right.
So those, and San Diego winning yesterday. That West, the most contentious of all the divisions. They've got a winner in Kansas City. The other 4 teams are all still alive for the wild card. And the final play of the game. It's an impressive win for these Pittsburgh Steelers, offensively and defensively. The only touchdown for the Raiders by their defense. 29-10. Neil O'Donnell with 2 touchdown throws. Durney Mills and Norm Johnson did the rest with 5 field goals. Now Pittsburgh runs their winning streak to 7 in a row. Anderson and Lloyd, former teammates in college at Fort Valley State. 2 hitters. Pittsburgh prevails.
And now it comes down to John Elway.
And we welcome those of you who just saw the Pittsburgh Steelers beat the Oakland Raiders by the score of 29-10. I'm Jim Lampley, along with Bob Golick here in Denver, where once the Broncos led by 20-3 in a game in which they were thoroughly in control. in an 83-yard fumble return off a John Elway fumble created by a Robert Blackman hit at a time when the Broncos were going in to try to make it 27-3, turned the game around. And now Seattle leads 31-27 with 44 seconds to go. Elway on first down, incomplete, overthrowing Anthony Miller. 29 fourth-quarter game-winning drives, best ever in the NFL. This one would be one of the biggest miracles of all if he could pull it off.
Well, you know, one of the keys here, too, the Oakland Raiders losing today. With a Bronco win, they would be tied in the division once again, making it still battling for that position to win that wild card spot, possibly.
You got to figure the Seahawks are going to double cover Miller. Elway might have to look elsewhere for an opportunity. Stumbles. Goes down. Flag thrown, perhaps to indicate that Elway was down before releasing the football.
Well, Antonio Edwards and Cortez Kennedy came up from behind, was able to drag him down by the legs.
Holding call. If Denver loses Bob Golick, it'll be the fourth time this year, or check it, the first time this year, that the Broncos have led at the half and then lost the football game. And not too many times in recent years have the Seahawks trailed at the half and come back to win a football game, particularly not here. They've lost 6 in a row and 9 of their last 10 in Denver. So this could be a major milestone for Dennis Erickson's developing program with the Seahawks if they can pull it off.
You know, they've had some very good games this year. They beat the Eagles last week, resurging Eagles. And then they come in here hoping to kind of continue some of that. But as you said earlier, when against Buffalo, Bryce Paup came out and said, you know, they've got a talented team.
Holding offense, number 69 is accepted. 10-yard penalty, repeat second down.
You know, if they could just stop shooting themselves in the foot, and that has been a big problem with them. They have a lot of talent, a lot of big play guys on their team that can get a lot of yardage and get it fast, but they always have the turnover, the penalty to stop it.
They've shown the talent today, coming back with big plays both offensively and defensively in the second half. Denver came in looking to win 3 in a row to close the season and guarantee themselves a wild card berth and the right to host a playoff game here in Mile High. Now all of that seriously in jeopardy as they trail the Seahawks, and the Seahawks playoff hopes more alive than ever, though they'll need some help even if they win the rest. Gary Lane's officiating crew making certain they get it all straightened out. Scoreboard says it'll be second down 19 from the 18-yard line.
There was a sack on the play. The defense has declined the penalty. Third down at the spot of the sack.
That makes more sense.
Makes a lot more sense.
Leaving Elway with 2 plays.
And 32 seconds.
Each team with 2 timeouts remaining. Off the hands. Rod Smith, the intended receiver, made a clutch catch earlier in the third quarter, but couldn't hold on to that one. And now it'll be fourth down 19.
Now lots of time, just rifled a little bit too hard. You hit Smith in the hands. Probably should have had it. And they just definitely got to control the clock a little bit more. Smith would have had to definitely fight his way to the sideline to get out of bounds. But right now, John Elway is just going to have to come up with a huge, huge play.
It's actually 16 yards to go for the first down. They got to get it to the 37-yard line to move the chain and keep the football. Seahawks blitz. And the throw is caught. Attempted lateral into the hands of Winston Moss. That's going to do it. Seattle with the football at the 27-yard line. And the Seahawks, with but 19 seconds on the clock, begin tentatively to celebrate a near miracle comeback victory.
Well, they were in man-to-man coverage. They tried to do the little shovel pass, throw it to the receiver. He catches it, shovels it to the Glenn Milburn coming behind, but man-to-man coverage very close. No room for any exchange.
5th turnover of the day for the Denver Broncos. Brian Blades looking for a hug from Dennis Erickson, the 2 former Miami Hurricanes, coming off a rough couple of weeks for their former collegiate program. celebrate a victory here. Want to remind you, coming up tonight here on NBC, Lost Civilizations starts it off, the Mayan culture, then Mad About You, Hope and Gloria, and the Sunday movie Eddie Murphy's The Distinguished Gentleman. All of it coming up in prime time tonight on NBC. Seahawks are going to get to 7-7 with this victory. The Broncos are going to drop to 7-7. Glenn Milburn's record-breaking effort wasted. 45 yards receiving, 131 yards rushing, 228 yards in returns, 404 yards all-purpose, breaking a record set 34 years ago today by Billy Cannon of the Houston Oilers against Harry Wismer's New York Titans. Chris Warren, unsung hero of the Hawks, once again leads them to victory over Denver. So the final score.
They say when a cowboy gets thrown.